Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. We are here on this Sunday evening in mid-June for the Nations League final between Croatia and Spain. For Croatia, it is their first time in the Nations League latter stages. The previous two occasions they have fell short in the group stages. For Spain, this is now back-to-back Nation League finals, being beaten last time out in October 2021 to France at the San Siro. But both countries featured at the World Cup in Qatar at the end of last year. Croatia had another successful World Cup, finishing third after being defeated 3-0 in the semi-finals to Argentina, but defeating Morocco in that third place playoff game. For Spain, it was yet another underachieving World Cup. After drawing 0-0 in 120 minutes, they did fall to a defeat to Morocco 3-0 on penalties after Spain failed to score any of the three penalties that they took. But this is the Nations League and there can only be one winner on the night. Will it be the solid Croatia side or the tidy Spanish side to take the trophy? It should be a good game. The semi-finals and the third place and the final have all been in the Netherlands, where unfortunately for the Netherlands they ended up finishing fourth out of the four countries in the Nations League latter stages. They were beaten earlier on in the third place playoff game against Italy 3-2. They were defeated by Croatia 4-2 in the week for Croatia to get to this final. We'll have to see how it goes. Should be I'm really intrigued because Croatia are overlooked a lot of the time, and they really shouldn't. They've only lost 2 games since the start of 2022. They have played 19, they have won 12, drawn 5 and lost 2, and the 2 losses they picked up was Austria in the Nations League back in 2022 and Argentina in the World Cup semi-finals last year at the end of last year in Qatar. They're a solid side. They've got a real bunch of quality players. They've got a good squad, which I think is the most important internationally. It's all good having a strong starting 11, but if you don't have the squad to back it and to get behind it, to bring on, when you need the changes to come on, during the second half, you don't usually win tournaments. You very rarely win tournaments for a starting 11. It's the players who come on and who affect the changing room, off the pitch, and the players off the pitch as well. But like I say, it's the third ever Nations League final. The first winners were Portugal in 2019. They beat the Netherlands 1-0. Guedes goal in the 60th minute. That was in Porto. And then France won the last one in 2021, beating Spain. Benzema and Mbappe scoring the 2 goals for France. That was in Milan in the San Siro. We're now in the Netherlands at the De Kuip Stadium, home of Feyenoord. It was built between 1935 and 1937. It holds just over 50,000. It looks like a cracking stadium for a good occasion. Even though it's bringing me football and bringing us football and allowing me to do commentaries, the fact there's still football going on in mid-June after a World Cup midway through the season is absolutely ridiculous. But what can we do? The bodies and the power at the top of the football, pyramids they choose when games get played and everything, and the players kind of just have to play with no real option other than to, just fill their duties of playing football. And it is ridiculous because I was having a conversation before with someone. It's kind of like the more football players play, especially later on in the year, the less quality you'll probably end up seeing, because they'll end up being either too tired because they've played all year, or lack of motivation as well. I think that's going to be a thing as well for football. It's like, realistically, this is a young competition, the Nations League. Like I said, the first one was in 2019, the final. Are countries that bothered? The Netherlands, who lost in the semi-finals and then lost today in the third place game. That third place game, would either country have really cared? Probably not. And it's something we need to look into, because don't want to overuse the players too much where the football quality ends up deteriorating. But less of that. We've got the 2 teams entering the field from the tunnel, from just below the pitch. I'll go through both sides now in a little bit more detail. I've got the team sheets the wrong way around. Let me just fix that. Sorry, I just have a swap around. Because Croatia have been labelled the home team. There's no real home team. Both teams are away, as this game is being played in the Netherlands. like nothing was ever wrong in the first place. There we go. I'll go through lineups now in a little bit more detail. As I mentioned, we'll go with Croatia first. It's Dominik Livakovic in goal. A 28-year-old. He is now has now won 6 league titles in a row with Dinamo Zagreb in Croatia. Right back is Josip Juranovic. He joined Union Berlin in January of this year, leaving Celtic after a year and a half at the Scottish Giants. 2 centre-backs of Josip Satalo and Martin Erlich as well. That's the only change made in the Croatia lineup from the semi-final. Martin Erlich of Sassuolo replaces Domagoj Vida at the back, and the left back is Spurs man Ivan Perisic, whose last goal for Croatia was in the round of 16 of the World Cup against Japan. 3 in midfield, which is the main power bolstering part of the Croatia team. Marcelo Brozovic in the holding midfield role, currently of Inter Milan, did play the full 90 minutes in that Champions League final against Manchester City. Mateo Kovacic, who is linked to Manchester City and looks like he's going to be making a £34.2 million move in the summer. He plays alongside Luka Modric in the midfield. And the front three of Mario Pasalic on the right, who is of Atalanta, formerly of Chelsea. On the left is Luke Ivanusek of Dinamo Zagreb. He got 12 goals in the league this season for Zagreb, and Andrej Kramaric also up front. He's got 1 goal against Spain previously, and that was in a 3-2 win in the Nations League back in 2018. And the bench for Croatia, you can see the names just below the team sheet on the left-hand side of the screen. As we do go now to the Spanish side, we've got Unai Simon in goal, the Athletic Bilbao goalkeeper, 26 years of age. Jesus Navas keeps his spot at right back. Robin Linomand, formerly of France, born in France, but had his citizenship changed in May of this year to become Spanish after living there for 7 years through playing for Real Sociedad. He's partners former Frenchman as well, Aymeric Laporte. Jordi Alba keeps his spot, the captain, at left back. Rodri in holding midfield. He's got 2 midfielders ahead of him, of Fabian Ruiz of PSG and Gavi of Barcelona. And then a front three which has been changed slightly. One of the 2 changes were made. Fabian Ruiz in the midfield replaces Mikel Merino of Real Sociedad, and Marco Asensio, former Real Madrid, he's leaving for free this summer. It replaces Rodrigo of Leeds on the right. Alvaro Morata stays up front, and Yeremy Pino on the left, the goal scorer of the first goal for Spain in their semi-final against Italy. And then the bench is also down below on the team sheet, as you can see. The match winner of their semi-final against Italy, Joselu, is on the bench. He scored in the 88th minute against Italy to win the game for Spain to get them to the final, and he's had his move to Real Madrid pretty much confirmed today on loan. The 33-year-old from Espanyol, he'll be joining Real Madrid for the year, and there is a buy clause in the deal. It's not mandatory; they don't have to buy him after the loan Real Madrid, but it is there if they want to buy the 33-year-old who's having to probably replace Benzema up front as he's leaving for Saudi Arabia. As the 2 captains meet with German referee Felix Weyer. He was the referee for Manchester United's 2-2 draw with Sevilla in the Europa League back in April, and also refereed Real Madrid against Liverpool at the Bernabeu in March, where Real Madrid were able to get past Jurgen Klopp's men. So Luis de la Fuente, the head coach for Spain, was under pressure. Surprisingly, no surprise these days, all managers are under pressure. This is only his 4th game, but their 2-0 loss in the March internationals to Scotland raised a lot of eyebrows, and he kind of had to win against Italy, which he did do very convincingly. I think Italy struggled a lot with the Spanish play, and Rodri in that holding midfield especially, and also Mikel Merino, who was alongside him, I think dictated the game really well, and Italy struggled. They didn't really have a centre forward up front. For the majority of the second half, they substituted Ciro Immobile off for Chiesa, a winger, and they kind of played with 2 wingers up front, and it all seemed just a bit of a mess for Italy. And I feel Spain dominated that game pretty well in the end to get to this final. Back-to-back nations, League finals. For Croatia, this would be a first major trophy for them. They've never won a trophy. They finished third in the 1998 World Cup. They finished with a silver medal. They finished runners-up in the 2018 World Cup in Russia, and they also finished third in Qatar as well. So they've come ever so close to winning the major tournaments, but just never quite having that, last little push where they can get to the winning feeling. As we have kicked off, Croatia kicking right to left, Spain left to right. Long ball forward towards Kramaric. Header won by Fabian Ruiz. It's in the possession of Spain in their 18-yard box, with Linomar playing right centre-back for Spain. Now Jesus Navas clips it down the line for Spain, up towards the halfway line towards Morata. Header won by a Croatia man. It's dropped for Spain as it breaks to Asensio on the right wing position here. As he charges down the right-hand side. He's got Luka Modric chasing him, and he's also tackled strongly by number 6, Josip Sotalo. And it'll be a throw-in for Spain. And there's the timer as well for you. It's Spain throwing in the final third. It's towards Morata, who takes it under control, surrounded by blue shirts, towards the corner flag on the right-hand side. Gets the low crossing. It's dealt with not very convincingly by Croatia. Jordi Alba strikes from afar, loops into the box as it's deflected, and it's easily caught by Livakovic. Early pressure from Spain, which got them a goal in their semi-final against Italy, scored within the 3rd minute. There is Croatia manager Zlatko Dalic, 56 years old, been manager of Croatia since October 2017, so he's overseen the successes of the World Cups in 2018 and 2022. As they try and play out from the back here, but it's been given away by Martin Erlich on the right centre-back position. And there's another throw in for Spain, deep inside the Croatia half. Good pressure from the Spaniards early on. Thrown in towards Morata again on the opposite side, tries to spin and cross towards the corner flag. Tries to keep it alive, but he just kicks out for a Croatia throw in towards that corner flag in the right-back position. Found himself surrounded there, Morata, and no red shirts available for him to pass to. As Croatia try and get out of their own half. Got the throw in their right back area this time. It's a long throwing down the line. Look towards Kramaric. Headed back forward by Laporte. All as far as Croatia centre half Sotalo. He gets to the left back Perisic. Ball forward into the Spain half. It's fell to number 16 Ivanusek, who works it to right back Juranovic, who gets forward. It's now with Luka Modric, the captain, on the right-hand side for Croatia towards the final third. Lays it off to Pasalic. Then back it goes to Brozovic, and then on the halfway line, it's with number 5, Martin Erlich. Kovacic to the left now to Perisic, who gets forward for Croatia. Ball inside for Modric, pressed hard, but doesn't win it there, Fabian Ruiz, so Croatia keep possession. After a little bit of early pressure from Spain, it's now Croatia on the ball. Ball forward. Heavy touch though by Ivanusek, and it drops to Rodri. Gets it across to Fabian Ruiz. Gets the touch away from Pasalic, and it's now Spain in possession as Jordi Alba crosses into the Croatia half of the ball. Tries to play ball forward towards Morata in behind, but it's cut out by Juranovic, and it's now Brozovic. Pulled back there in the end by Yeremy Pino on the left-hand side. And there'll be a free kick for Croatia just halfway inside their own half, which is taken quickly. And it's now Kovacic on the ball in his own half for Croatia in the midfield. Croatia in some good form, only one loss in their last 10. 6 wins in that 10 as well, 2 of them in penalty shootouts in the World Cup. Japan, and also beating Brazil, also in their run to the semi-final. Cleared down the right-hand side for Croatia. It's picked up though by Fabian Ruiz, kept in by Laporte on the Spain left towards the halfway line. As now with the City man, Aymeric Laporte goes across to Robin Linomar, who made his Spain debut in the semi-final against Italy, and he starts again ahead of other centre-back in the squad, Nacho Fernandez of Real Madrid. Unai Simon clears, but it's not convincing. It's only gone as far as Juranovic for Croatia. Yeremy Pino couldn't get there ahead of the Croatian. And it's now towards the Croatia backline with Kovacic, who's just sitting slightly deeper alongside Brozovic, who he plays it to now on the halfway line. It's now out to the right-hand side to Juranovic. He's got everything to his left, the right back, as he charges forward into the final third. Jordi Alba can't block his cross. Laporte gets a slight touch, but it falls through to Unai Simon in the Spain goal. And it's rolled out quickly to Rodri. Finds Morata on the left. Tackled strongly by Juranovic. And it's now back in Croatia possession again. It's Modric just inside the Croatia half. Goes to Pasalic on the right. Now Brozovic, pressed by Gavi. Taken down by Gavi. Free kick for Croatia. Just inside their own half. Quick 2-minute start from Spain, but the last 3 minutes have just been Croatia getting their foot on the ball. As a switch from Modric finds Perisic on the Croatia left as he enters the Spain half. He's halfway inside the opposition half now on the near touchline here. Slays off to Kovacic. Finds Brozovic with a heavy pass, but he's able to keep it alive as there's no real pressure on him from the Spain forward line. As Modric pokes it through towards Ivanišek, which cut out in the end, and it falls to Fabian Ruiz, who's twisting. Turning, lays it off to Linomand on the edge of the Spain 18-yard box. Goes to right back Navas, who decides to clear it down the right channel. Looking towards Morata, but it's picked up by Croatia. And then number 6, Josip Satalo, who keeps his spot at the back. The Zagreb man, been there since the age of 14. Got the one appearance at the World Cup. Josip Satalo, and that was in the third place playoff game against Morocco. And he goes back to his goalkeeper, Livakovic, also of Dinamo Zagreb as well, keeping the 11 clean sheets for them in the league in their run to the title. Like I mentioned before when I was reading the lineups out, he's won 6 league titles in a row now with Dinamo Zagreb, the goalkeeper Livakovic, as Croatia just keep possession in their own half. It's very settled. It's Kovacic on the left, bursting away from Rodri, poking it forward towards Brozovic. It's overhit and collected by Laporte on halfway. Now it's Spain's turn to have possession with Rodri on the ball in their own half. Goes over to the left to Jordi Alba. Have failed previously in recent tournaments. Spain are massively underachieving, especially in World Cups. Got to the semi-finals of the Euros before beating in 2021 before getting beat to Italy on penalties. But in 2016 they were beaten again by Italy. That was in the round of 16 as well. In the Euros. But the World Cup, they've had back-to-back round of 16 exits. In 2014 they were knocked out in the group stages. But if they win tonight, it'd be their first major tournament since the Euros in 2012, where they were able to beat Italy 4-0. Seem to have featured a lot against Italy in recent major tournaments in the Euros, Spain. As they're on the halfway line with Linomand, the right centre-back, plays it into Asensio, who's just in a right-back position here, just dropping deeper to get his foot on the ball. It's Jordi Alba. Ball, looking for Gavi, tries to take it in his stride in the box, but it's overhit, and he can't quite take it under control, and it'll just trickle out for a goal kick. Good inventive thinking there from Jordi Alba, just too much on it for Gavi to take it under control on the edge of the 18-yard box if he'd made a diagonal run towards the box. And it's Croatia to play out from the back. Juranovic, as I mentioned before, joined Union Berlin in January, and he's going to be playing Champions League football with them next year, as he qualified in 4th place with them in the Bundesliga when he joined in January. But he was given away as his ball down the right-hand side fell to a Spain man. And it's now back with Unai Simon, just on the edge of the 18-yard box for Spain. Going to be pressed by Kramaric. But he plays it forward to Gavi. It's a misplaced ball. Croatia look to capitalise, but they can't do so because Gavi keeps it alive. And he gets it to Fabian Ruiz, who works it away from Modric and plays it through to Jordi Alba. Crosses that border into the Croatia half. Plays it forward to the left-hand side to Jeremy Pino. Villarreal man. Back to Jordi Alba at the edge of the 18-yard box. Once more to Fabian Ruiz in the box. Gets past one. Tries to get past the second, but he's doing too much there in the box and can be taken away from him by Juranovic. But then he wins it back. Fabian Ruiz, misplaced ball. Cross goes in towards the near post. It's fumbled by the goalkeeper. Morata chance. It's cleared eventually. But there was a flag up. Big mistake there from very reliable goalkeeper Dominik Livakovic. The cross came in from Ruiz as Juranovic gave it away. And it's towards the near post, and he just fumbled it onto the post. And as it bounced off the post, it fell to Morata, who had followed it in. He's lucky that didn't go straight in Livakovic. Morata met it with a shot, but he was met by a diving Livakovic going right towards the ball, trying to make up for his error. That's very fortunate, first, that he didn't drop it in himself first thing. He tried to catch it, Butterfingers tried to catch it like that, kind of clapped it into two hands, and it came off his left hand into the post, and thankfully for him, it didn't bounce into the back of the net. And if Morata had scored, he possibly would have been offside anyway. But very fortunate for the Croatia goalkeeper. Gets away with a big mistake there, and first big chance of the game. And with 10 minutes in, it's pretty even so far. Spain had the earlier exchanges. Croatia came back at Spain with some possession, and Spain are just having a few chances again of their own. Very even final so far. It's Juranovic, the right back, on halfway. Darts 10 yards into the Spain half, then turns back as he's pressed by Jeremy Pino. So now with the right centre-back here for Croatia, Martin Erlich. Goes back to his goalkeeper there, Livakovic, just 10 yards ahead of his 18-yard box, as he keeps the possession ticking for Croatia in his own half. Did make 3 penalty saves in that round of 16 shootout for Croatia against Japan. So if this does go to penalties, they've got quite the master in goal, as Croatia lose it in their own half through Brozovic in midfield, straight to Rodri. And Spain can look to come at Croatia here as they get it out to the right-hand side to Jesus Navas, a ball they were using a lot in the first game of the Nations League knockout rounds in the semi-final. They were looking for Navas a lot, as Asensio tries to zip it through in the box towards Gavi, just on the right-hand side of the box, but it was again overhit, and it could be collected by Livakovic. There is Luka Modric, made his debut for Croatia in March of 2006. He's played Spain 5 times, as Gavi picks it up here from Brozovic on the edge, and he shoots himself, and it's just wide. He probably thinks he should have done better there, the number 9, Gavi, looking for his 4th goal in a Spain shirt. They were playing out from the back there, and the number 5, Martin Erlich, gave it away. It was a short ball towards Brozovic, and as he entered the box there, Gavi, he just dragged his shot wide, but that's where Spain's first goal against Italy came from in the semi-finals. Gavi pressing Bonucci it was, and then Jeremy Pino was able to get forward and slot home. So Croatia need to be careful playing out from the back, because Spain do usually take advantage, and Gavi probably should have there, but wasn't able to. As Modric has it in the Spain half, plays it to the left-hand side to Ivan Usic. Got the overlap of Perisic. Doesn't use it in the final third. Tries to chop onto his right foot. Lays it off to the right to Kovacic, who turns and finds Modric, who's found himself in a left wing position. 1-on-1 with Marco Asensio. But then again, just goes back to Kovacic. Goes to the right-hand side this time to Erlich. Gave away the ball for that Gavi chance. Perisic, 1-on-1 with Navas. Gets the cross in. It's well headed away by Linamand. As far as the edge of the box to Kovacic, he helps it back towards the 18-yard box, but it's cleared by Spain, only as far as Satalo for Croatia. It's now Kovacic out to Perisic, restarts on the Croatia halfway line with Erlich. Brozovic on the halfway line, the Inter Milan holding midfielder. 5 trophies for Inter Milan. 1 league title 2 seasons ago now. Perisic, ball over the top and around the corner. Finds Pasalic on the left, and he tries a cross. Deflects off Laporte, but Pasalic was in an offside position once the ball was played towards him. So that will be a free kick for Spain. He probably was just onside actually there. Mario Pasalic. I think Linamand was just playing him on, but Pasalic does have a good record against Spain. Scored against them in their last meeting in the Euros back in 2021. They met in the round of 16. It was a 5-3 game. It was actually a commentator on that game. Spain were 3-1 up in the closing encounters of that game, but a Orsic goal to make it 3-2 and a Pasalic equaliser in the 90th minute meant Croatia took it to extra time, but Spain ended up getting through, scoring 2 in the extra 30 minutes of the game. As Croatia come again, ball in the box by Juranovic. It's a header by Laporte towards Jordi Alba at left back, towards the byline. Laporte's able to clear eventually, only as far as the number 6, Josip Satalo for Croatia, only making his 8th appearance for his nation. He started his last 5 games now for his country. Satalo at the back, as they've been forced all the way back to the goalkeeper in their 18-yard box. Livakovic darts it out towards the right-hand side, looking for Luka Modric, but it's out of play. And that'll be a Jordi Alba throw-in for the Spain captain. He's now been playing for the national team for just under 12 years, Jordi Alba. Linamand at the back for Spain. 15 minutes in, it's still 0-0 in this Nations League final. Navas tries to play it down the right channel, but he kicks it out of play. Thrown for Croatia inside the Spain half. Between the 22 players on the field tonight, only 8 of them survived from the last time these two countries met in that Euros round of 16 game. For Croatia, Livakovic, Juranovic, and the midfield 3 of Modric, Brozovic and Kovacic survive. And then for Spain, there's only 3 who survive: Unai Simon, Laporte and Morata. There's Livakovic, one of them starters, gets it up the field. It's headed on by Pasalic, but no one's running in behind for Croatia, and it will trickle through to the Spain goalkeeper, Unai Simon, who was at fault for the opening goal in that round of 16 game. It went down as a Pedri own goal in the 20th minute, but it was a pass from Pedri going back to his goalkeeper, and it went right under Unai Simon's foot for that one. He was at fault for that. Obviously ended up conceding 3 goals in that game, but they were able to get through in extra time. 3 goals from Alvaro Morata and Mikel Oyarzabal. Oyarzabal is not in the Spain squad for this Nations League campaign for the semi-finals and final, but he did score in the last Nations League final for Spain as they went 1-0 up against the French. But unfortunately, they were beaten eventually from goals from man of the match that day, Benzema, and a winner from Mbappe. So Laporte has it for Spain on the halfway line. All Croatia players behind the ball currently as Spain look to make a way through, as Linamand sees a audacious switch to the left, but he finds the head of Yeremy Pino, who's able to head back to Jordi Alba. It's now with Rodri, 10 yards inside the Croatia half, lays it back off to Jordi Alba, then goes back once more to Laporte, forward to Alba, goes back towards the Croatia goal, so he's forced to play to Laporte, and then once more to Unai Simon. Good pressing here from Croatia, forcing the Spaniards back. Because obviously possession is part of their game. Spain always has been, especially in the World Cup 2022 group stage games against Costa Rica in the 7-0 win. They boasted 82% of the possession, and then against Germany they had 65%. Against Japan they had 83% in that 2-1 loss in the group stages against Japan. So they're very possession orientated, Spain, which they always have been, but doesn't always accumulate to the right result for them. As down the Spain right there, they, again similar to the Navas play where he kicked out of play a few minutes ago, it's the same there, and Croatia have the ball back through a throw, and it's already back to their goalkeeper Livakovic, who tries to switch towards Perisic but can't keep it in play with his header. Spain throwing halfway inside their own half. Spain throwing with the number 22, Jesus Navas. Now at the age of 37, born in November of 1985. Vast experience for the former Manchester City player. Luis de la Fuente really not happy with Robin Linamand. He played the pass too late. I say the pass too late. Didn't play the pass at first towards Jesus Navas on the right. He hesitated and then ended up playing the pass not as quick as what the Spanish coach wanted. And he definitely let Robin Linamand know that he needs to play that ball quicker to the right back, because that's where Spain like to get their chances out wide, get the balls to the full-backs and the wingers and let them do the magic, get the crosses into the target man Alvaro Morata. Here is Linamand again as he brings it forward from the back for Spain. Out to the right to Jesus Navas, who's in the final third for Spain. Gets that crossing towards Morata. He wins a header. No, he doesn't. Comes off the number 6 last, Josip Satalo, and that'll be a Spain corner. Believe it's their first of the match as well. As behind that goal, the Croatians are bouncing. Really up for this game as they get to their second competitive final. the last one since the World Cup final in 2018 in Russia. Asensio will put an in-swinging corner in towards the far post. It's a key header by Erlich, but it goes only as far as Fabian Ruiz at the far post. He crosses it towards Rodri, deflects towards Yeremy Pino on the edge, heads it towards Gavi, tries to keep it alive, but it's headed only as far as Kramaric. He tries to get on the counter-attack for Croatia, but he's brought down cynically by Yeremy Pino, and that'll be a free kick for Croatia. As Yeremy Pino here is asking for a handball within the build-up there. Rodri headed it off of the head of Kovacic. Yeremy Pino tried to head it back forward. It then came off Gavi's head last. He's asking for a handball there off Ivan Usic, but I don't really see it. And then Yeremy Pino cynically brought down Kramaric to stop the counter-attack from developing. Don't see it really come off the hand of Ivan Usic, and if it did, it definitely wasn't purposefully. Gavi tried to nod it back to Yeremy Pino. They tried a 1-2 of headers on the edge of the box there, Pino and Pedri and Gavi. But it might have nicked off the hand slightly. I don't even know if there was contact on the hand of Ivan Usic, and I think the decision's gone the way of the Croatians, and it'll just be a Croatia free kick in the end. So yep, they are happy with the play to continue. VAR tonight is Marco Fritz, German. Everyone's German in the officiating board tonight on the main officiating positions anyway. As Livakovic clears towards the halfway line on the right towards Pasalic. It's won by Laporte. As far as Brozovic gets it to Modric, who turns Fabian Ruiz really well on the halfway line. Plays a ball over the top towards Kramaric. It's cut out by Jordi Alba's head, and it'll be dealt with by the left back as he plays a ball nicely into Rodri on halfway for Spain. He's got Kovacic in his way, but he works it out to the left to Yeremy Pino. Lays it off to Jordi Alba in the left back area for Spain as they keep possession to Rodri. Then plays it forward to Fabian Ruiz, who's just edged out to the left-hand side for Spain. Goes back to Rodri. Got man of the match in that semi-final against Italy in the 2-1 win. Zipped out quickly to Marco Asensio by Linomand for the Spanish to have an attack on the right-hand side here. Jesus Navas one-on-one with Perisic. Works across onto his right foot. Goes all the way through towards Morata. He's ended up on the deck after battling with Erlich. And it's actually gone against Morata. The referee's blown for a free kick for Croatia in the 18-yard box. I think a bit of grappling between centre-back and striker. So I thought Navas was putting the cross in. And yeah, it was Morata pulling Erlich down, actually, holding the back of the Croatian's neck. So a rightly given free kick there by the referees. We come back here to a ball over the top for Kramaric. Takes it down beautifully, tries the shot, but it's a superb tackle from Laporte. And I don't think the flag's gone up. Should be a corner for Croatia. Big chance. They were showing a replay of the Morata foul. And as he play out from the back here, there's a ball over the top, and I think he's just timed his run to perfection there, Kramaric. Got in behind the Spanish defence. His first touch was great out of his feet, and as he tried to prod towards goal from 12 yards out, Laporte comes across with a huge slide challenge, and he actually kicks it off the Croatian last. It should be a goal kick. Big chance for Croatia, but it's superb defending. You can't take that away from Laporte. And it is a Croatia corner. Probably should have been a Spain goal kick, but they play it towards the edge of the box to Brozovic, but it's been read and cut out by Asensio on the left, and the break's on for Spain. Tries to play it forward towards Jordi Alba, but Asensio was off balance and his pass wasn't hard enough, and Croatia come again down the right. Kramaric pulls it across towards Pasalic, and it's saved by the goalkeeper. He was put off there by Robin Linomand from 6 yards out, and I think the Pasalic strike was just blocked by Linomand, so he took the weight off the shot, so it was easily caught in the end. He was actually first off Linomand and then off the foot of Pasalic, and no power was generated, and it was easily caught in the end by Simon. Decent game so far, 24 minutes in. No real, big chances for Croatia. They've technically not really had a shot. I wouldn't count those two as shots because Laporte's tackle wasn't a shot, and then that wasn't really a shot from Pasalic. It was kind of a kick from Linomand off Pasalic's foot. Wasn't really a shot. So Croatia yet to have a real shot on goal. Spain have had 3. Main chance coming from Gavi. Pretty evenly split for possession as well, but yet to have a shot on target from either nation so far early on. But it's a good game, pretty even. Both sides showing their qualities as Spain are the team now in possession on the halfway line with Lineman, the right centre-back for Spain. Gavi drops deep for the ball and plays it out to Navas. And then back to Robin Lineman. Here's Merrick Laporte. And with the 24 appearances this season in the club competitions for Laporte, the season before, the one just gone, he played 44 games, so not used as much by Pep Guardiola as we tick over the 25th minute, and it's Laporte playing a ball out to Jordi Alba on the left. Again, Croatia just sitting in a very low block, just forcing Spain to play through them, which they've done superbly through Laporte, through to Fabian Ruiz on the edge of the box, outside of the boot shot towards goal, blocked by a Croatian. There was asks of handball, questions of an arm used, but not given by the referee, so Spain continue to come forward. Fabian Ruiz on the edge of the box, tries to play ball through towards Jordi Alba, but blocked by the blue wall of the Croatians. But again, they come forward because Rodri wins possession back for Spain. And he works out to Jesus Navas on the right. Ball down the channel to Gavi. Tries to play it back towards Navas, nearly deflects towards him. Ivan Usek loses out to Asensio, but it's won back by Kovacic, but Brozovic loses out. Ball just caught under his feet. That's now with Rodri. Ball forward to Asensio on 30 yards away from goal. Goes to his left to Jordi Alba on the angle. Fancies across towards Morata. It's last off the number 6, Josip Sotalo. And that will be a corner for the Spaniards. Good pressure there from Spain. Here's the Fabian Ruiz shot, edge of the box, outside of the boot. Comes off the elbow of Sotalo, but his arms were close to his side. There was no intent of purposefully trying to handball that. Corner for Spain. Played short. And then to Jordi Alba again. Once the cross is flicked on by Rodri. And there's a deflection off a Croatian. Was it? No, there wasn't. Goal kick. Looped over the bar in the end. Rodri looking for another goal. It'd be his second goal in a week. Jordi Alba's cross came off Rodri. And then off the back of Morata. Then looped over the bar and wide, I think, as well. Yeah, not much Alvaro Morata knew about that one. Wasn't too far away for an unintentional block of his own shots, of his own player's shot. He was able to be seen behind by Livakovic, who takes the goal kick into the Spain half. Helped on by Pasalic, in behind for Ivan Usik. Nearly well cut out though by Lineman. Stretching slide challenge, and it goes back to his goalkeeper, Unai Simon, who clears down the right channel, but it's out of play for a Croatia throw-in towards the halfway line. Well dealt with by the goalkeeper because he was closed down quite quickly there. I didn't get a notification you are live. Did anyone else not get one? I hope. I'm not sure why that didn't work. I do apologise. For my channel, if you're wondering if there's games coming up that you're wondering if I'm commentating on, just the day before the game, just check my channel, because that's when I schedule my streams a day before. Just so you should hopefully see them in your subscriptions, hopefully. But for the new season coming up, because I think maybe there might be another commentary coming up soon for the under-21s Euros. I might commentate a few games for the under-21s. But when the new season kicks off August time, just check the channel a day before a game you might want to watch, or just any game. Just check the channel because they're usually scheduled, then you can kind of see what games I'm doing, because next year I'm going to be doing so many commentaries, it's a joke. I've already got one scheduled for tomorrow. I'm doing Turkey against Wales in the Euros 2024 qualifiers. If you're interested in that one, same time tomorrow, 7:45 kickoff. But I'm hoping the notifications work for everyone else, because that'd be slightly annoying if it didn't. As we're just under half an hour in, still no shots on target for either side. Livakovic, diagonal switch out towards Perisic on the left, heads it forward for Ivan Usik. Flag stays down for now as he's on the halfway line, gets away from the challenge of Fabian Ruiz, and then switches it out to right back Josip Juranovic. Forward to Kramaric, found himself on the right hand side here, the striker. Lays off to Pasalic, the Atalanta winger. Also can play in central midfield. Modric. It's now Brozovic as Croatia try go down their right hand side. Blocked pass by Yenemi Pino. Throwing for Croatia with their right back Juranovic, who did play 74 minutes back in 2021 against Spain in that European Championship round of 16 tie. between the two sides. It's Croatia just keep possession. They've gone back into their own half with number 5 Martin Erlich of Sassuolo. The Zadar-born Croatian. Zadar, known for the Roman ruins of its peninsula old town. I was researching. Quite interesting. Place of Zadar, it's just a cool name as well, where you're from, Zadar. Sounds like something fictional, doesn't it? Like non-fiction, like off a TV show. I don't know where I'm going with that. But Unai Simon clears with his left boot for Spain, up towards Gavi, header won by Brozovic, brought down by Modric. Tackled unfairly though by Fabian Ruiz, and it'll be a Croatia free kick for the captain. Just inside the Spain half, it was brought down well by Luka Modric, who apparently has turned down an offer from Saudi Arabia to continue Real Madrid, a club he's been at since 2012. As he takes the free kick, it's headed on, and it had to be saved by Unai Simon. Quickly taken free kick by Modric, just lifting it into the box, and Perisic from the fullback position charged into the box. Literally a late run there. Navas had to check his shoulder. Navas, I think, kind of knew he wasn't going to win that header, and he didn't. Perisic got up really well, and his header towards the bottom right corner was a testing one for Unai Simon. He really had to stretch for that. First shot on target of the game, and it's a good header from Perisic. A World Cup final goal scorer. Also scored in the semi-final against England for Croatia in 2018. Spain have it with Jordi Alba halfway inside the Croatian half. He's going to go back to Aymeric Laporte, still in the Croatia half here. Jordi Alba, ball inside to Morata, just dropping deep for the ball, tries to turn, can't, loses out to Brozovic. And it's now Kovacic to charge forward. He enters the Spain half. He's well inside the opposition territory now. Lays off to the left to Ivanusic. Tries to cut in on the edge of the box to his right foot, but he's forced back by Rodri. To Perisic, he plays it forward to Kovacic. Again, drifting from the left towards the centre of the field. Lays it off with a pass to Brozovic. All Spain plays behind the ball now as they regroup from their attack. Kovacic. Ball inside, cut out well by Fabian Ruiz. It will fall to Jesus Navas on the edge of the 18-yard box for the right back. Looks down the line. Ball cut out by the head of Perisic. Throwing for Spain. As Fabian Ruiz, the midfielder of PSG, looks to be struggling. Gets it though from the throw-in from Jesus Navas. Gets it to Unai Simon as Spain beat the press. As Laporte strides forward with it from the back and lays it off to Jordi Alba. Looking like he might reunite with Lionel Messi with Inter Miami. As he looks like he'll be, well, it is going to be set that Jordi Alba leaves Barcelona after his second stint with the club. Fabian Ruiz. Furthest left is Yeremy Pino in the final third for Spain, and they feed it to the Villarreal man. 1-on-1 with Juranovic, tries to go around the outside of the full-back, but the Croatian doesn't allow it. He gets it off him, and he clears up the field towards Kramaric, who's pulled back by Robin Linomard, and that'll be a free kick inside the Croatia half for the Croatians. Well won there by Hoffenheim striker Kramaric. You did get 2 goals in the World Cup, both against Canada in the 4-1 victory in the group stages. The former Leicester man, who was part of the Leicester squad that won the league, but he only made 2 appearances in the Premier League, so didn't earn himself a medal. As Brozovic strides forward for Croatia, lays it off to Perisic, who's got forward from left back towards the byline, gets across with his right foot, aimed towards the head of Pasalic, couldn't get his head on it, and it drifts out and through for a Spain goal kick. As Croatia try and take the game to Spain and try and get ahead. But it's Spain now to quickly play out from the back. Jordi Alba forward to Yeremy Pino, pushed to the ground by Josip Juranovic, and it's a free kick for Spain. Fouled Yeremy Pino there. And early on in his career, Yeremy Pino, before joining Villarreal in June of 2017, he was actually drawing interest from Barcelona. He actually refused an offer from Barcelona to instead go to Villarreal, a club where he has won the Europa League back 2 seasons ago, where they beat Manchester United, you might remember, on penalties 11-10. as Laporte has it for Spain in possession. Ball played forward into the Croatia half to Jordi Alba. Lays it off now to Pino, who has to go back to Fabian Ruiz. Across to Robin Linamand on the halfway line. Strides forward 10 yards and then lays it off to the right hand side to Jesus Navas. He's got everything to his left, likes of Gavi, Asensio, which goes back to Gavi, who actually made his Spain debut against Italy in that Nations League semi-final last time out in October 2021. Navas down the right hand side goes to Asensio. He's just about going to keep it in, pulls it back. It's dealt with by Modric as it drops to Perisic on the edge of the box, and he can get away from the challenge of Navas. Now one-on-one with Rodri. Plays inside towards Kramaric. It's a poor ball. It's cut out by Linamand, and Spain are back in possession, but he's caught late there by Perisic. That'll be a free kick for Spain. Caught on his toes there, Linamand, thinking the danger had passed, but Perisic was coming right behind him, biting at his heels. But thankfully for Linamand, he won the free kick, and it's now Spain in possession again. 9 minutes to go until the 45th minute. Still 0-0. Pino. Back to Jordi Alba. Very resolute defending from Croatia as everyone's behind the ball. Spain have it with Laporte in the left centre-back area. Finds Gavi. Lays off to Jordi Alba. Back to Laporte. Down the line looking for Gavi. I think a free kick's been given as there was a push off the ball there on Gavi as he was looking for the space to receive the pass from Laporte. I think Brozovic was the one to knock him down. So free kick for Spain. About 15 yards into the Croatia half, so there's still a lot of work to do to break down this Croatia defence. It's played to Rodri, strides forward, tackled from behind fairly one time, but then they lose it straight away there. Croatia through Mateo Kovacic. But then Jordi Alba loses it short. Modric can try and break, but there's a foul first time round. Given there by Felix Zweier. Jordi Alba just played a short ball there and Croatia tried to break, but it was stopped quickly there by Gavi, the number 9, taking down Pasalic. Now forward to Ivan Usic for Croatia. Perisic down the left channel. Brozovic will get there. He is offside. Play will continue for now. In the box on the left. Cuts in towards his right foot. Then back onto his left. Takes on Gavi. Pulls it across. No one's there. Huge opportunity for Croatia. Kramaric will keep it alive on the far side. The flag's yet to go up. So we continue. Modric on the right. On the angle for the cross. Deflected off Alba. Will run through for a throw-in for Croatia. And the flag never came up. Should have, because Brozovic was definitely offside there as the ball was played. I'm certain of it. So Croatia still have it in the Spain half. With Perisic at left back. One-on-one with Asensio. He's had to hurry the ball back towards his centre-back there, number 6. Josip Satalo. Because Asensio was not letting Perisic have time on the ball there. There's Brozovic on the left in the Croatia half. Spain pushing out. Putting pressure on Croatia. To go to right back, Juranovic. Ball inside to Pasalic. Playing on the right wing, but he's predominantly left-footed. Ball forward to Kramaric. Playing in a right wing position for now to get some touches on the ball. As he plays it towards Juranovic. His pass inside towards Kramaric in the box was cut out by Jordi Alba. Kept in though towards the corner flag by the right back, and he finds the captain Modric on the right. Clips a ball in towards the left. Perisic to go for another header, and it's another one header ahead of Navas. But it's saved again by Unai Simon. Couldn't quite generate the power to trouble the goalkeeper, but that's twice now. A Modric cross to Perisic has been won by the left back with a header towards goal, but neither of them have hit the back of the net. Now the ball to be brought out from the back by Aymeric Laporte. Ball forward to Morata. Lays it off to his left to Fabian Ruiz. Now out to Jordi Alba in the final third. Just about keeps it in. It was a heavy pass, but he crosses eventually with the right foot towards Morata. Header won by a Croatian. Finds Kovacic, who looks for Modric and finds the captain. Back to Kovacic again. He's been put under pressure by Gavi, but there's a pull back there as Modric was fouled inside his own half, and he'll take it quickly with a ball forward to Pasalic. Then across to Kovacic. Finds Kramaric, who's then now found himself on the left-hand side. Just swapping positions momentarily with Ivan Usek, the left winger. Brozovic, lifted ball towards the right back. Juranovic, who does get there as he charges forward. He's halfway inside the opposition half. It's now with Modric, who picks it up in a pocket of space. Back out to the right back, Juranovic. Modric, Juranovic. Heavy ball to Modric. It flicks off the Croatian's foot and can be won back by Fabian Ruiz. It's now in the left back area of Jordi Alba. He's able to clear it towards Morata, who nods it out left, looking for Pino, who nods it back himself to Fabian Ruiz. Then the ball forward to Modric, all in the Spain half there as they try and play out from the back, and they're going to do so calmly with Fabian Ruiz as Croatia back off, getting back into position. Rodri sees a ball out wide to Navas on halfway, and he finds the Sevilla man. Plays inside to Asensio, the number 10 for Spain. Back out to Navas, who's got forward. He's got Gavi coming for support, but goes back to Asensio instead towards halfway. Rodri inside the centre circle. Spain look to get a goal before half-time. Asensio drills it into Gavi, lifts it into the box looking for Morata. Well dealt with by Croatia in the end. It can be hooked into the Dutch sky. Only as far as Rodri heads it back forward. Dealt with again by Croatia. Only as far as Jordi Alba. Spain keeping the pressure on the Croatians, testing their concentration before half-time. That's now with Laporte. Just inside the Croatia half. Lays it off to Jordi Alba. Ball forward to Jeremy Pino. Scoring in the 3rd minute in Spain's last game in the semi-final against Italy, who finished 3rd place in the Nations League this afternoon for a 2nd time in the competition's history. Navas can't get past Perisic once, can try again. As he's pressed by the Spurs man, goes inside to Asensio, on 35 yards away from goal. Sees a switch to the left here to Pino, brings it down on the chest in the box. He's got work to do as he's got 2 Croatian men on him, so goes back to Jordi Alba. On the edge, gets around Modric, crosses towards Morata, headed at the near post, over the bar. It's well created by Spain, but again, no shots on target for Spain. 5 shots, none on target. Croatia have had 4 shots, 3 on target. The possession's evenly split. It's been a decent little game, this. I can't complain. I've enjoyed it. It's been close. It's been a tactical battle. Both sides confident in their play. And why wouldn't they be, being in the final of a major European competition? Spain try and come forward again with Asensio. Navas tried to get ahead of Perisic, but a big sliding challenge from Perisic deflected the ball off Navas and into the hands of his goalkeeper. Good defending from the left back. Ivan Perisic, who had his first season in English football this year. 34 Premier League appearances. He's got the 1 goal in March in that 3-3 draw against Southampton, which saw Conte get the sack. But he's got a Champions League himself in 2020 with Bayern Munich. Ivan Perisic has got 4 goals in 10 European Championships games. 6 goals in 17 World Cup appearances as well. He likes it on the big stage, Ivan Perisic. As Croatia lose it on their left, it's going to be a throw-in for Spain on their right-hand side with Navas, the number 22. Who actually did score against Croatia in the Euros back in 2012. They were in the same group in 2012 in the Euros. Spain and Croatia. I think it's a 1-0 win, just a Navas goal, the difference. As Spain have a free kick on the left, 25 yards out away from goal. Jeremy Pino was the one fouled as he's holding his lower left back. Modric was the one who gave it away. He chopped beyond Brozovic and Modric wasn't letting him get any further. Definitely a free kick, rightly given by the German referee Felix Zweier. And it's a dangerous chance here for Spain right before half-time. Minute to go. Really dangerous area. Just on the left-hand side. Perfect for a shot here. Probably where you'd place the ball if you wanted to have a free kick of your choice. Livakovic setting up his wall here. Yeremy Pino of the right foot and Asensio of the left foot are the options available to Spain. The chance for a shot. Also might fancy a dinked cross in the box. Try and play it short, but they've messed it up, so Asensio has to go to his right to Alba. Yeremy Pino and Asensio got in each other's ways. They try to play it short to each other. Alba then tries to get it in the box in the end, and no Spain players near it. Goal kick. What an absolute mess that is from Spain. As we hit the 45th minute, lack of communication. I think from the free kick, both players tried to tee each other up for it. As Robin Linnemann, who was chasing that Alba cross, was clipped there by the number 5 Martin Ehrlich, but I think it was accidental. I think there was, he clipped the feet there of Linnemann, but it was accidental. He just kind of ran in front of the Croatian, and they kind of clattered legs. As we hit the 45th minute, and the referee believes there should be no added time. So there we have it. Half-time in the Nations League final in 2023. And it is Croatia 0, Spain 0. We're yet to have a goal. In the Netherlands, at the De Kuip Stadium. We've had chances, but neither side has been able to find the back of the net. After 45 minutes. Spain yet to have a shot on target, but around 15 minutes in, Gavi had a shot from the edge of the box after pickpocketing the centre-back Martin Ehrlich, but he just dragged it wide of the post. And then Croatia have had 3 attempts on target, 2 of them from the head of Perisic towards the end of the first half, beating Navas twice in the air, but Unai Simon equal to both. Kramaric also had a chance within the half, but it was Laporte with a last-ditch challenge to stop the Croatian from having a shot at goal, which could have possibly give Croatia the lead. But at half-time, it is Croatia 0, Spain 0. So we're just gonna go through the events of the first half. Tighter game than I thought it would be. Yeah, it's been tight. I don't know. I think it's different. I find it's when I commentate on games, it's a little bit like. I think if you're watching it just for the sake of watching it, you probably find it a little bit boring. But when you're commentating, you've got to really focus on every action. So every action means something because you've got to try and describe it, which probably puts a bit more meaning on the game. But if you're just watching it and seeing them play around the back and around each other, you probably find it a bit boring. But I found this game quite interesting. I know we've had a lack of huge chances, but I think just the technical and the tactical aspect of the game is quite interesting. You know, when both sides get on the ball, they both look dangerous, and I think they're both giving each other the respect there. It's like once Croatia have the ball, Spain sit back and kind of let them have the ball and look to counter. And I think it's the same for Croatia. When Spain have the ball, they sit back, soak it up, accept how they're so talented on the ball, and then try and nick it themselves and get on the counter-attack. So I think it's just a really interesting first 45 minutes there from both sides. We have had chances, just a lack of, real big chances, like off your feet chances. Really, the first real attempt and near goal was around the 15th minute, where Livakovic dropped to Jordi. I think it was a Jordi Alba cross, or I think it was a Fabian Ruiz cross in the box. It looked like it should have been a simple save, but he dropped it off the post. He was lucky he didn't drop into the net. He dropped it off the post and into the path of Morata, who tried to put it into the back of the net, but he was met by a diving Livakovic, which possibly wouldn't have counted anyway, because Morata was flagged for offside in the end. And then Kramaric nearly got through half an hour in. That Laporte tackle blocked him. Perisic also had an attempt on goal around half an hour in, then one about 5 minutes after that as well. But both sides, both having half chances here and there. It's tight, it's tense, it's close, but I'm impressed. I think it's a good game so far. I think it's, you don't want it too one-sided in a final, really. And it's not at the minute. It's evenly poised to go into the second half. Remember, we could get a bit of extra time, a bit of penalties as well if it stays all level. We're coming towards the end of the Formula One. That's what I bring, to this channel. Not just football, I bring F1 as well. We're on lap 69 of 70. If you don't want to know any of the resulting standings, I'll leave now because I'm about to say who's where. Because I'm not as big as a fan of F1 than I used to be. To be fair, I was a complete Drive to Survive fan. I'm not, not afraid, not like ashamed to say that. I got into it through Drive to Survive, and then my first proper season watching F1 was that Hamilton-Verstappen season. Then I think it kind of peaked too soon for me, F1, and I've kind of not found it as exciting since. It's been very much Verstappen pole, Verstappen winner a lot, and it's just a bit boring, I think. And to be fair, if I don't have time or I don't find time to watch the race, I just won't watch it. But it looks like Verstappen is going to be taking this race home again. Currently it's sitting top of the pile with Alonso just behind him. In second, Hamilton. Looks like he's going to be getting the podium in third with fastest lap as well. And then a Ferrari duo of Leclerc and Sainz, fourth and fifth. Perez in P6. Albon in the Williams has got himself into P7. Ocon 8. Norris into the points with 2 and P9. Bottas taking up the last point spot in 10th. Stroll just outside the points in P11. Piastri P12. Gasly P13. Tsunoda of AlphaTauri in P14. Hülkenberg, who was on the front row in qualifying but was docked 3 places due to a penalty. He's finishing P15, it looks like. Guan Yu Zhou's at the back of the pile at the start of the race. He's going to be finishing P16. Magnussen P17. De Vries P18. And then 2 retirees of Russell and Sargent. As Verstappen takes the flag with a victory. Alonso P2 and Hamilton P3 for the Canadian Grand Prix. I think it's very impressive. The Williams finished there with Albon P7. Don't see that every day from the Williams. So that's the end of the F1 race there in Canada. I just wanted to see if I could have caught the end of it, as there was a bit of battling here at the end. I think it's Norris trying to take on Esteban Ocon for P8. Can't quite get around the Frenchman. He's going to go again at him. He's going to go again, the McLaren, around the outside, I think. Or is it around the inside? I can't tell. Around the outside. Oh, he's drove the McLaren off track. And I think Ocon will keep his P8 in the end there. Oh, Norris. Yeah. Stroll has nicked the last point spot of Bottas right on the line. Wow. So Norris wasn't able to get up to P8. He kept P9. Norris ended up 13th. Oh my, so that last move he did on Esteban Ocon, which drove him off track, meant that the other 3 ahead of the other 4 ahead of him could get there across the line before him. So I don't know if McLaren will look to try and seek some, compensation there, because Ocon possibly drove him off track. What an ending there. Lando Norris having a nightmare going from P9 to P13 within about 5 seconds at the end of the race. But we'll go back to the football now, as I've probably bored you all with F1. As it is half-time in this one. Croatia 0, Spain 0 in the Netherlands at the Feyenoord Stadium. Third ever Nations League final. Portugal taking the first one in Porto, and France winning the second one in the San Siro in 2021. Now it's either Croatia or Spain. Croatia have never won a major tournament. This would be their first. can't say they probably didn't deserve it, really. But in that semi-final they got to in 1998, Croatia, it was actually their first ever World Cup after becoming independent away from Yugoslavia. So even in their first ever World Cup, they got to the semi-finals. They're just a really consistent nation, I think. I think it's pretty much statistically proven if you look through their previous World Cup semi-final in 2022, got to the final in 2018, group stages in 2014, didn't qualify for 2010, group stage 2006 and 2002, semi-finals 98. So on the whole, more recently they've had better performances. Obviously had a run there from 2000 to 2012 where they weren't great in 2002 to 2014 where they didn't have great World Cups. Same really in the Euros as well. 2012 group stage, 2008 they get to the quarterfinals of the Euros, got beaten by Turkey, and I do believe in that game against Turkey they were beaten in like the last. They got a last minute winner, and then they got an equaliser against them pretty late on. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I wrote that down. I'll have to check that. Yeah, I'm going to check that. Because that quarter-final against Turkey, I swear, Croatia got a late winner in extra time, and then Turkey got a late equaliser. Let's have a look. Yeah, Croatia scored to make it 1-0 in extra time in the 119th minute, and then I think Turkey equalised in the 121st minute to take it to penalties. So, yeah, they've had heartbreak. They've had a lot of heartbreak, Croatia, in tournaments, and they've just not quite got to the final of one and gone on and won it. But they've had some great runs in their pretty recent history. Obviously, first World Cup was 1998 after becoming independent away from Yugoslavia. So, and to be fair, in their first Euros in '96, they were able to get to the quarterfinals and were beaten by Germany 2-1. So, I kind of feel like for Croatia, it's either like early knockout or late heartbreak. It's like it's one or the other. No real hit and miss. And I'd, obviously commentator neutral. Whoever wins wins. I'm not overly concerned, but it would be nice to see Modric and Croatia come out with their first major trophy. Spain have had 4 before winning 3 Euros in 1964, 2008, and 2012, and then winning the World Cup in 2010. But I just think for Croatia it would be nice getting to quite a few finals previously and semi-finals and just not quite making it. They've got a great chance here against a weaker Spain side. It's not the greatest Spain squad that there's been in the previous generations. Don't get me wrong, they're very talented and they're very strong, the Spanish side, but not the 2010-2012 kind of Spain where you had your Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, David Silva, Ramos, Puyol, Piqué, David Villa, Fernando Torres, those kind of players. You don't have them anymore. They've probably got them in the making with your likes of your Gavis, your Pedris, who's out injured at the minute, Yeremy Pino for Villarreal on the left, he's only 20 years of age. They've probably got those players coming through, but not quite at their peaks yet, where they'll really challenge for the likes of a World Cup. It does look like, as well, just some off-topic football news, Brendan Rodgers has agreed terms to become the new Celtic head coach, deal in place set to be finalised. So he's going to be returning to Celtic. I think that's a great move for both sides. I know Celtic fans weren't the happiest when he left due to the way he left mid-season for Leicester, but he's a superb manager and I think that's a great move for Celtic, to be completely honest, as long as the fans can get over the fact of what he did previously with the way he left them in the first place. As both sides of both nations, both sets of players are getting ready to enter the field of play for the second half. There they go, appearing from the tunnel for the second half. Again, we can have extra time, we can have penalties. Neither of the last two finals of the Nations League have gone to extra time. As there he is running across. I say running, walking across the field to his technical area there. Luis de la Fuente, the head coach for Spain, 61 years of age. Did lead the under-21 side in 2019 to the European Championship title, and the under-19s in 2015. And he also led the Spain side for the Olympics in 2021 to silver. As both sides are back out for the start of the second half. It's Croatia 0, Spain 0. Another 45 minutes to decide the winner of this Nations League final in 2023. As it'll be Croatia kicking left to right towards their own fans, who have situated behind that goal to the right, and Spain kicking right to left, with Spain with kick-off, with Gavi, goes to Fabian Ruiz, back to the right centre-back, Robin Linamand, to right-back Navas, and we are back underway at the Decuped Stadium for Croatia versus Spain, Nations League final, and we've got a free kick for Spain inside the Croatia half, a handball from number 6, Josip Sitalo, and Spain can put Croatia under some early pressure here. As the left foot of Asensio stood over it. High line from Croatia, crossed in by Asensio, right the way through. No one at the far post attacking it there. Fabian Ruiz, I think, was meant to, but didn't attack the space. Easily dealt with in the end there by Croatia. Just an overhit cross there from Marco Asensio, who does look set to be signing for PSG after leaving Real Madrid. Been there for 8 years, winning 17 trophies. Did have a loan spell at the start of his Madrid career to Espanyol, but then was pretty present within the Real Madrid success. Minute and a half into the second half, Spain having an early free kick but not being able to capitalise on the gift they were given. And it's now Croatia playing out from the back. He's had to be hurried away, cleared up towards Modric, loses out to Rodri, ball forward towards Ruiz, will drop to Rodri again, pokes it towards Yeremy Pino. They keep it alive. Spain, the team on the ascendancy early on in the second half. Laporte from the back in the Croatia half. To club teammate Rodri, bursts forward in the left wing position. Finds Alba. Back he has to go to Laporte. Takes the touch forward. Zips a pass forward to Pino. Morata. Pass off Kovacic. It will fall to Kramaric. He has to try and hold up for Croatia. He's able to work it to Pasalic. He goes back to Brozovic. And a free kick's been given on Kramaric as he was holding the ball up there for Croatia. The Hoffenheim striker. Plenty of goals for him. In 2023, 9 of his 12 league goals did come in the new year, making his 85th appearance for Croatia. Kramaric scored 24 goals. He did score in their semi-final against the Netherlands to make it 1-1. As they've lost out here to Spain, and it's now with Laporte deep inside his own half, having to turn towards his goalkeeper, sitting down Kramaric in the process with the turn. That Unai Simon out to right back Navas. All Spain so far for the start of the second half. Fabian Ruiz, 1-on-1 with Brozovic, tries to go the long way around the Croatian. And he gets away from Brozovic, but can't get away from the pressure of Ivan Usek, the Croatian left winger. So now Robin Linamand But previously in group stages for Croatia, they haven't been that successful. Their first ever group consists of England and... of England and Spain. And they were placed bottom of that table in the end. And then the group they had in 2021 consisted of Germany, Switzerland... I'm reading off the wrong thing. France, Portugal and Sweden, and they finished third, and only the top spot go through in the Nations League. Only first place goes through. Yeremy Pino's been tackled on halfway here. Play was going to be stopped, but Kovacic didn't kick it out because he was back to his feet. And Kramaric takes on Navas on the Croatia left, cuts it onto his right foot, edge of the box, plays it across. And a ball out to the right now to Juranovic. The right back getting forward, needs to cross it. He does cross it. It's a floater. It's punched by Unai Simon. Only as far as the edge of the box where it can be hooked away by Asensio. Only as far as Satalo for Croatia. Now Ivan Usic takes on Gavi and gets away from Asensio on the Croatia left. Final third. Can they make this count? Perisic. Back to Kovacic. All Spain plays behind the ball here. It's a Spanish red wall for Croatia. As Modric, the magician, tries to break it through, but just keeps the possession ticking with Martin Ehrlich. The 25-year-old centre-half who plays his football for Sassuolo. Out to Perisic, the left-back, getting forward from his defensive duties. Around the outside of Navas, crosses it over the goalkeeper. Falls to Juranovic, the right-back, who strikes it across. And it's well wide. It's aiming more towards the corner flag than it was the goal. That's probably why he is a defender. First big chance of the second half, and it's not gone to Spain. They were dominating possession for the first 3 or 4 minutes of the half, and then it spun for Croatia, and Perisic down that left, getting beyond Navas, and the cross went over the hand of Unai Simon, who couldn't meet it. Just flapped at it. Maybe got a few fingertips to it, but it fell in the end to Juranovic at the far post, who had time to get a shot away, but it was way, way wide. And it's Croatia who have the first big chance of the second half. And they try and get it back from Spain. And they do, with Gavi losing out. Ball just goes behind him. Kovacic tries to get forward on the left, but he's tackled by Navas, and it's back in Spain possession. With Unai Simon in the Spain goal. Sorry if you just suffered any buffering there. I do apologise. Chance for Croatia. Goes missing on them. Juranovic shot that went wide of the post. Laporte clipped ball up towards Morata. Flicked on. Nowhere near Gavi. He's the furthest forward for Spain, just on the edge of the Croatia box. And it's now going to be a restart with Livakovic. He also clips it forward, looking for his striker, but he is nowhere to be seen. Kramaric, he'd drifted to the left, not down the centre, so he was easily swept up by Laporte. That's back in Spain's possession. 7 minutes into the second half. Yeremy Pino on halfway. Can't get away from the pressure of Pasalic, and he runs out a pitch on the left for Spain, and it's a throw-in for the Croatians. Thrown back to Ehrlich, and then back to Livakovic, who's been at Dynamo Zagreb since August 2015. He's actually got interest from Fenerbahce, the goalkeeper. As Rodri has it now for Spain. It was one back for the Spaniards as the ball's gone towards the edge of the box, but it's dealt with nicely by Brozovic. He gets away from Gavi, who thinks he's been hit in the face, but the referee had a good view of it and didn't see anything wrong with that. Brozovic plays it out of play in the end on the halfway. Played it behind his left winger, Ivan Usic. Gavi's back to his feet. That's a replay. The referee was in a good position. He didn't think Gavi was caught. He goes down like, it's a little hand in the mouth. Literally, I think a finger in the mouth. Accidentally, that sounds a little bit weird. By Brozovic. It's not a foul or anything. Gavi's gone down way too theatrically, or whatever you even want to label it. And we'll restart with Spain throw-in due to the misplaced ball from Brozovic. Gavi's back to his feet and completely fine. That's now with Unai Simon in the Spain goal. 33rd appearance for his country. Made his debut in a friendly in November 2020 against the Netherlands. Was it in net for the 2-0 defeat to Scotland in their last qualifier for the Euros in March. Kepa Arrizabalaga was in net for that one. He's on the bench tonight for Spain. Spain beat the press of Croatia, and they get it to Rodri, who gets it forward for Spain. This goes to his left to Jordi Alba. Again, Croatia getting all men behind the ball, knowing they have to defend resolutely when Spain are in possession of the football. Unai Simon. Had 11 shots on goal, 3 on target, all for Croatia. As Asensio gets the ball back for a throw-in. Sotalo was nudged off the ball from Asensio and ran out of pitch on the left and conceded the throw-in for Spain to take. And it will be taken by Jesus Navas. Coming up towards 50 appearances for his country. This is number 48 for the experienced full-back, once a winger in his earlier days. Laporte on halfway, strides forward, plays it through the lines and gets it into Rodri. Plays it on to Yeremy Pino. It's now with Alba. 1-2 with Rodri, back to Alba, crosses it. Beautiful whip ball, but no one's attacking it at the far post for Spain. It's a goal kick for Croatia. Gavi and Morata were in the box. Just had a nice little travel to it, that ball there. Just quite satisfying cross towards the far post, but Morata and Gavi were nowhere to be seen towards it. Croatia have a throw-in in their right-back area, won by Luka Modric, pressed by multiple Spanish players. It'll be a throw-in taken by Josip Juranovic. He played all minutes in the World Cup for Croatia, bar the third-place game against Morocco. Zagreb-born fullback. He throws it across his back line to Josip Sotalo. And he now gets it forward to Perisic. He knocks it around Navas and he outsprints him towards the byline on the left. Tries to chop towards his right foot. Doesn't work out. He's then surrounded by Navas and Gavi and he just cannot get the ball off. Can't get the ball around the Barcelona man. And a free kick's been given in the end for Gavi. As Perisic was not letting him go. Like I say, Gavi and Navas had stopped him getting around. And then, yeah, it's just a mess. They're both grappling, a bit of WWE like there. Between the two. Legs being twisted, arms being thrown. In the end, it's ended with a laugh and a high five. That was strange. Perisic done Navas for pace there, but as he tried to chop back onto his right foot, he kind of got the chop wrong, and Gavi was there to put pressure on him alongside Navas in the end, and it was lost for Perisic. The momentum was gone as Spain clear up the field towards Asensio. It does drop in the end to Gavi, who plays it inside to Ruiz on the halfway line. The PSG midfielder, formerly of Napoli, finds Asensio, who's drifted into the centre of the pitch. It's now Jordi Alba, lays it off to Yeremy Pino. He overlaps him now and gets the ball, Jordi Alba. Another cross in towards Asensio with the header, roof of the net. Finding successes with headers, both sides. Perisic had 2 in the first half, which were close. Asensio there winning the header from the Jordi Alba cross. He just dinked it towards an unmarked Marco Asensio. Got quite the leap on there as well. The 6-foot winger. But always over the bar, and it was, I think, covered as well by Livakovic if it was to be on target from Marco Asensio. And if you're in the chat, what score predictions have we got? Do we have any score predictions from anyone? What do we think it's going to end up? There's a long ball forward by Croatia, has been dealt with by Laporte, kept in by Rodri in the Croatia half on the far left. And it's recycled back to Laporte by Jordi Alba. Positive from both sides. In demand on the back line for Spain. Finds Unai Simon, bit of a worrying touch, but he's able to keep it under control away from any Croatian as he dinks it out, but it's header won by Ivanusek. Can't be claimed by Brozovic, and it's back in the Spain possession in their own half with Robin Linomand in the 18 towards the corner flag now. Spins and clears out for a throw-in for Croatia. Not very convincing from the Real Sociedad centre-back. It's a throw-in that can be taken by Perisic, and he throws it back in the end to number 5, Martin Ehrlich. It's now a wicked ball forward. I think that's by Couldn't quite see who that was. I think it was Kramaric maybe. Wicked ball forward, but it was way overhit. Went right through to the Spanish goalkeeper, Unai Simon, who now rolls out to the edge of the 18-yard box to Robin Limand. Not Linomand. There we go. Can say his name now. He's on the ball again in the 18-yard box. Lays off to his keeper. Bit of a hurried clearance, but he's got length on it towards Morata on halfway. Header won by Josip Satalo, alongside Navas. Helped on by Gavi. Asensio on halfway. Spins very nicely and lays it off to Fabian Ruiz. Tries to get the return to Asensio, but it's overhit. It's now Modric on the ball in possession, brought down cynically by Fabian Ruiz. Free kick for Croatia as we're coming in towards half an hour to go. 31 minutes to play. Still 0-0. It's now Kovacic from the free kick. Goes back to Satalo. Forward into Brozovic. Back to Livakovic. Takes a touch with his right boot, then clips it out to the right hand side with his right foot to Juranovic. Nods it inside. It will drop to Kramaric, who plays a 1-2 now with Pasalic. The space on the left, and it's Luka Modric with it. Darts into that space that he's got. Ball in the box, deflects off Laporte to Juranovic again, who's got a chance in the box, but he lays it off instead to Modric. Mix up with Kramaric. They both try and shoot. And it deflects off one of them to Navas, who can clear for Spain. Big chance that for Croatia. They created a lot of room on that left for Modric. Tried a ball in the box, dealt with by Laporte momentarily, and then they've both gone to strike it, and it's come off Kramaric last. And it's spun out to Navas, who was able to clear for a throw-in for Croatia. Which from the throw-in, they've kept possession with Kovacic. Ball forward, round the corner now into Modric. Ball out wide left, chance for Croatia. In the box, Ivanusek falls back in the end. It's now with Perisic towards the byline, crosses. It's a deep one towards Pasalic. He does win that header on Jordi Alba, but into the side netting. He was always going to win the header there, Pasalic. He's got good height on him, 6'2". He was always going to beat 5'7" Jordi Alba to the header. But it was right into the side netting. Jordi Alba stayed down. May have had a little knock in the head there as he went for the header with Mario Pasalic. Let's have another good ball there from Perisic deep. And there's, I think, maybe a little clip of the heads there between the two. I think Jordi Alba should be okay, as Pasalic did get that header. Like I say, he scored before. I think it was a header as well against Spain in the round of 16 Euros 2021 to equalise 3-3. Not quite had the same amount of goals as last time, the 8-goal thriller, as Mario Pasalic is to be replaced by Petkovic, Bruno Petkovic, the striker for Dinamo Zagreb. Subbed off at half-time against Spain in the round of 16 game in the Euros back in 2021. Jordi Alba stayed down. Decent goal-scoring record. Petkovic, 8 goals in 30 previous Croatia appearances. And it looks like Spain are going to make a change with Ansu Fati to come on. Just getting the last final instructions from one of the Spanish coaches. But Petkovic is an out-and-out striker, so I think more than likely Kramaric is going to go out wide. Instead of playing 2 up front, they're probably going to stick with a 4-3-3. There's a sea of Croatians. I don't know how many exactly have travelled to the Netherlands to watch their team possibly lift their first major trophy, but there's a lot of Croatians in that ground making up the numbers. Looks pretty full to me. Definitely nearing a sellout. Can hold over 50,000 the De Kuip Stadium, home of Feyenoord. As we're going to get that Spain goal kick in the end with Jordi Alba. He's going to be able to continue, the Spanish captain. Ball forward towards Morata. It's helped on him behind. Look for Jeremy Pino. Dealt with on the edge of the 18-yard box by Juranovic and cleared then by Livakovic. Up towards his striker, Petkovic, who misses out with Laporte. But it'll roll out to Linomand for Spain. To Jordi Alba. Short ball back to him by Fabian Ruiz. And Croatia on it. Petkovic on the right. He's an absolute unit. He is massive. Modric into Kramaric on the edge of the box. Met with a big slide tackle from Gavi. And the ball eventually drops into the hands of Unai Simon, who rolls it out quickly to Navas, who's met with him with another strong challenge himself by Perisic. And too strong of a challenge, says the referee. Free kick for Spain. Yeah, Bruno Petkovic, 6'4", but he's not even just tall, he's quite bulky as well. He's a huge player, Bruno Petkovic. As it's going to be a Spain free kick given away by Perisic. It's going to be a double change as well for Spain, I believe. Hosselu will be coming on. I don't know if it's confirmed, I'll have a look actually, but I know it's pretty much done. He's moved to Real Madrid on loan from Espanyol for the season, with an option to buy come the end of it. Fabian Ruiz for Spain. Gavi keeps away from Ivanusek, but not from Brozovic on halfway, and it's now Croatia on the ball. Not got many options, but he finds Kovacic with him. Gets beyond two Spain players here on the left, Kovacic, and then spins back nicely, keeps possession. Good play from Kovacic, and Croatia have the ball with Modric in a deep-lying playmaking role. It's now with centre-back Josip Sutalo. Was born in Bosnia, but he's represented Croatia from the under-15 level. And he's found it out to Juranovic. Back to Luka Modric, just playing a bit deeper now. Obviously at the age, Luka Modric of 37, can't quite run the midfield the entire game from an attacking point of view. As they lose out here, and Asensio tries the break. It deflects to Yeremy Pino, nods it into the path of Asensio, who's found himself on the left-hand side. Tries a cross, it's blocked, and avoids the corner there. Great play from Martin Erlich. I think it is the number 5 for Croatia, I'm pretty sure. And he clips the ball up towards Petkovic, who's not fouled by Laporte despite the cries of the Croatia bench. Rodri from afar decides to strike. I don't know if that's one of them where on the TV it seems closer than it was, but that seemed very close from Rodri, who likes a strike from afar. Petkovic has stayed down after the challenge from Laporte. A bit of a nudge in the back, not sure, probably a little bit soft there, but then Rodri with an absolute rocket. That's not far, a yard or so wide, as Spain are going to make their 2 changes. Ansu Fati and Hosselu's coming on. Ansu Fati will replace Yeremy Pino, a semi-final goal scorer against Italy in Spain's last game. He'll be replaced by Ansu Fati. And Alvaro Morata, same change as the semi-final. 2 changes they made in the semi-final, made in the final. Pino off for Fati, and Morata off for Hosselu, who got the winner in the semi-final in the 88th minute. It's the first time for Spain, Hosselu, where he's not been subbed on in the 80th minute, or in the 80-minute mark. He got 3 goals in 3 for Spain. He got 2 of them against Norway in March, where he was subbed on in the 81st minute, then scored in the 83rd and the 85th. And then in the final, he was subbed on in the 84th and scored in the 88th. So when he's usually brought on in some time around the 80th minute mark, he usually scores. He's been brought on a bit earlier today, 66th minute this time, Hosselu. Now Real Madrid striker, pretty much sealed and delivered there for Madrid. Formerly of Stoke and Newcastle, Hosselu. It's now Modric in the midfield for Croatia. Ball forward to Petkovic, number 17, who's seemed to be okay after that little nudge he got from the back from Laporte before the Rodri strike. Tries to play him behind there. I think it's Ivanusek, the left winger for Croatia, but Petkovic isn't really going to be running in behind. He's 6'4", and like I say, bulky. He's not going to be doing any running, chasing balls. And it does look like Andrej Kramaric has just made his way to the right wing position. But for Petkovic, when he was brought on in the semi-finals against the Netherlands, brought on for Kramaric, he scored and he made it 3-2. It was a good strike actually from the edge of the box from Petkovic. So can he bring a similar quality of finishing to the final? He replaced Kramaric in the semi-final, but he's playing alongside him now as Laporte heads away, a long throw in by Croatia. He's ended up being picked up by Ivanusek, but he runs out of pitch after being pressured by Rodri. Number 16 against number 16. It'll be Spain thrown in their own half. 22 minutes to go. Still 0-0. Spain still yet to have a shot on target, having 8 attempts in total. It's having slightly more of the possession as Croatia have won it back nearer the halfway line. It's with Brozovic. It's now number 5, Martin Erlich, who did make the World Cup squad in 2022. Brozovic. Back it goes. Remember, there was late drama in Croatia's semi-final as Erlich's short pass towards Tataro. He's just kept alive by his centre-back partner. Kept it away there from Hosselu. Yeah, massive late drama in the last game for Croatia. They thought they'd had the game won after a Pasalic goal in the 72nd minute, but a Lang goal for the Netherlands in the 6th minute of added on time forced it to extra time. There's a ball played through the gap, and he's well onside here, Brozovic. He's got options to his left and right, goes to his left. He finds Ivanusek. Questions of offside, but he crosses it anyway. Off of Jordi Alba. Kept alive by Petkovic, but the flag's up. Ivanusek was offside on the left-hand side. Annoyingly for the Croatians, who thought they'd had a chance there. Brozovic was onside, was he? Got the ball, and then, yeah, just over. Got a bit too excited there, Ivanusek. Definitely offside. Slatko Dalic watches on, the Croatian head coach, formerly a holding midfielder in his playing days. Managing his 74th game as Croatia manager. Won every game in his World Cup run with Croatia up until the final, where they defeated 4-2 in Russia to France. Sorry again if you suffered any buffering. Apologies. Juranovic intercepts the pass of Hosselu as he looked for Ansu Fati. It's now with Livakovic. Plays out from the back to left back Perisic. Outside of the boot ball down the line. Looking for Ivanusek. And he's fouled from behind there by Jesus Navas, halfway inside the Croatia half. As well won there by Luke Ivanusek, the Zagreb winger. Got 10 goals in 28 under-21 appearances for Croatia. His last appearance for the under-21s was against Spain in the under-21 Euros in 2021 in the quarter-final stages, where they were beaten 2-1 in extra time to Spain, but he did score the Croatia goal. Ivanusek. As Croatia in possession, Kramaric on halfway in a midfield position, looks to switch out to the left, and he does do so nicely to Ivan Perisic, who fancies it one-on-one here with Navas. He slows it down and brings Kovacic into play. Across to Modric, centre of the field. He's got Josip Juranovic to his right in a lot of space, and he finds the fullback onto his left foot, crosses with his weaker foot, dealt with by Navas at the far post. As far as Kovacic, who keeps it alive, flicks it out to Perisic on the left. He's got everything to his right here, the Spurs man. Goes back to keep Croatia ticking along. It's now Brozovic to Kovacic. Modric, what a midfield three that is he finds Perisic again. Was a winger in his early days, Perisic, and he cuts into his right foot and floats the ball in, but there's no one attacking it for Croatia. Straight through for a goal kick. Still 0-0 in this Nations League final. 18 and a half minutes to go, plus any added on time. We could have penalties in, well, extra time first, then penalties. Unai Simon with the goal kick for Spain. No, he'll roll it across and let Laporte take from the left corner of the 6-yard box. And he played across to his centre-back partner, Robin Linomard. Plays it to right-back Navas. Goes to his goalkeeper in the 6-yard box. And calmly plays it across to Aymeric Laporte, who's got the 14 trophies with Manchester City. Long ball forward, looking for Asensio. Cut out in the end. Headed back to Livakovic by Ivan Perisic. And Croatia can start again inside their 18-yard box. Brozovic in that holding midfield role. Pressed by Ruiz. Keeps it alive. Down the line by Erlich up towards Petkovic. Lays it down nicely to Juranovic. Through to Petkovic. Heads it behind him looking for Modric. It's not dealt with by Brozovic. Rodri got there ahead of him, but his touch was too heavy and it was dealt by Erlich for Croatia. And Livakovic in goal can clear long up the field. Looking for Petkovic. Heads it on. Looking towards Kramaric, but it's well dealt with by Jordi Alba. And again, Spain now are in possession this time on the edge of the 18-yard box with Aymeric Laporte. Spain looking to win their first major trophy since 2012. The Euros that they won, beating Italy beating Italy 4-0 in the final in 2012. Unai Simon, left-footed clearance up the field towards Hosselu. Dealt with by Sotalo, then Erlich flicks it onto Brozovic. Finds Kramaric, but he loses it in the midfield, and it's Spain in possession again with Laporte. Ball forward to Rodri. Keeps it away from Modric and Petkovic. And just nods it and lays it back off to Linomard. Laporte, zip ball through to Ruiz. He's got a bit of space in the midfield, but he loses it to Brozovic. It's now Kovacic being tackled there by Fabian Ruiz. And it's now Spain again to come forward in the Croatia half. Rodri across to Laporte on the halfway line. He's got Alba to his left in the left-back area. And he'll feed it to the former Barcelona fullback. And here is the current Barcelona star, Ansu Fati. Ball forward to Hosselu. Tries to flick it in for a 1-2, but it's cut out by Brozovic. Played forward to Petkovic. Fouled by Robin Linomard. And that'll be a free kick for Croatia. Well won by the striker to relieve the pressure for Croatia as they try and take it quickly out to the left to Ivan Usek. But the referee was not happy with play to continue. He hadn't blown his whistle yet. Just a little bit of pushing and shoving there from Robin Linomard. As Croatia lose it from the free kick there on the left-hand side. Perisic ran out of room there. Being pressed by Jesus Navas. Will we get a late winner like we did in the Spain game, where they won it in the 88th minute against Italy? Also pretty late on the win for Croatia. Scored in the 98th minute of extra time through Petkovic, and then Modric sealed it in the 116th minute with a penalty. As Jordi Alba slits a ball through towards Ansu Fati, dealt with by Livakovic. Fabian Ruiz shoots from the edge of the box. He lifts it towards goal over the bar. Great ball from Jordi Alba, splitting the Croatia defence. Found Ansu Fati in behind. It was a fantastic ball from the Spain captain. Ansu Fati probably would have been offside if they'd scored from it. Couldn't quite get there. They were ahead of the goalkeeper, Ansu Fati, and his sliding tackle went as far as Fabian Ruiz on the edge of the 18-yard box. He tried the shot as the keeper was off his line, but it went over the crossbar in the end from Fabian Ruiz, and it stays 0-0. Croatia get out of a tight spot from their left-hand side. It's now Modric outside of the boot ball, in behind, giving Ivan Usik something to chase, but he won't get there ahead of Robin Lamand. And it's Spain possession again in their own half. Fabian Ruiz slightly deeper in the Spain half to collect the ball. Looks like Mikel Merino will be coming on as well for Spain. He started the semi-final but dropped to the bench for the final behind Fabian Ruiz, who plays it forward now to Hosselu. Lays it off into Ansu Fati. Works himself away from Erlich, the Croatian centre-half. Now lays it off to Rodri. Tries to stride forward for Spain. Just lays it off to his left to Fabian Ruiz. Slips on the ball, but he's back on his feet quickly to receive the pass again. Then works out to Navas in the right back area. Getting forward. Crossing towards Hosselu. Header won in the end by Erlich. Only by Jordi Alba, who flicks it into Fati on the edge of the box. Into the box he drives. Onto his right foot. Shoots off Juranovic. Shot by Fabian Ruiz on the edge. Falls to Asensio, who drags wide. And again, Spain try, but they do not score. Ansu Fati tried his utmost to get a shot away. That was blocked. Then Ruiz had a bite of the cherry. That was also blocked by Erlich. And then it fell to Asensio, who dragged his shot wide of the post. Hearing news as well that Carlo Ancelotti is set to be announced as the new head coach of Brazil. Not sure if that's for next year or if that's for now. Looks like Real Madrid may need a new head coach, as Robin Linomard comes off, made his debut for Spain in the semi-final after gaining his citizenship for Spain. He's going to be replaced by Nacho Fernandez, the number 4 of Real Madrid. Been at Real Madrid for 22 years now, signed a new contract recently for a year extension to play in 2023-2024 season, the 33-year-old. So Linomard comes off the centre-half, and also Fabian Ruiz comes off for Mikel Merino. So Robin Linomard comes off for Nacho Fernandez. He was in the March 2023 squad for the Euro qualifiers, Nacho Fernandez, and that was his first time in the Spain squad since October 2018. So he's had to wait his fair bit as well to get back in the Spain squad. And he was actually brought back into the Spain squad because David Garcia of Osasuna, the centre-back, pulled out of the squad due to injury. And we've also had a swap for Croatia. Ivan Usek's come off for Vlasic. The wing, so that's a left winger off, left winger on. Nikola Vlasic on loan at Torino for this season from West Ham. West Ham, he joined there in 2021 for 25.7 million. Not quite worked for the Croatian. So he spent this year at Torino where he was able to score 5 goals in the league season. 3 of them coming in the first 5 games. Well, back underway. Croatia in the left-back area with Brozovic. Spain still yet to have a shot on target. Croatia have had 3. 2 of them off the head of Perisic in the first half. Petkovic gets it on halfway on the left-hand side, holding it up nicely. That's doing his job. Now with Brozovic, the holding midfielder, sees the switch out towards Juranovic, heads it down the line, finds Kramaric, flag stays down. Juranovic carries his run forward as Kramaric instead goes for the switch out to the left. Chested behind him by Perisic to Kovacic, and Croatia keep possession. Well kept by the number 7 ranked team in the world in the FIFA rankings. Spain are 10th, Croatia 7th. So Brozovic on halfway for Croatia. Gets out to the right centre-back, Martin Erlich. To Kramaric, taking up the right-back position currently. He goes back to Erlich. Then once more to goalkeeper Livakovic. Good pressing from the Spain side here to force Croatia back and then clear long. Up towards Petkovic. Can't win their header against Nacho Fernandez. And it'll be Jordi Alba to go back to Laporte. And Spain again back in possession of the football. Inside their own half. Erlich wins it off of Mikel Merino. And Croatia have it on halfway. Modric darting forward, pulled down by Gavi. And the yellow card comes out for the Barcelona man. I think he's well aware that he was going to pick up a booking there. Gavi was not letting Modric past him. Once he'd got past the halfway line into his own territory there, Gavi, he was pulling him right down. So Croatia, free kick, taken and played out to the right-hand side to Juranovic, halfway inside the Spain half, as Croatia want a winner with just under 10 minutes to go. Out to Perisic, keeps it down with the chest. One-on-one with Asensio in the final third. Goes around the outside towards the byline, works across, header won by Laporte to the edge of the box, where he'll be met with by Joselu. Rodri, short ball towards Merino. Won back by Brozovic. Croatia come again. Kovacic to Modric. And he slows the game down at halfway. And they go again, looking towards their left-hand side now with Kovacic. 1-2. With Vlasic. Perisic down the line, finds Vlasic, tries to pull it back, deflects off Nacho Fernandez, then back off of the foot of Vlasic, and it'll be a goal kick for Spain. Both sides equally look able to win this game. So it looks like Spain are going to make another change. Dani Olmo, the RB Leipzig man, the attacker. Unai Simon looks ready to take this goal kick, as we're still 0-0. It's going to go long this time by Unai Simon. Thumps his goal kick forward. Header won though by Perisic towards Petkovic. Headed back forward for Spain by Nacho Fernandez. Helped on by Joselu. Asensio inside looking for Gavi. Leaves out to Modric. Cleared by Erlich. And he finds Petkovic, the Croatian striker, as the flag stay down against him. It's now Modric just inside the Croatia half. Playing a switch out to Perisic on the left. What a ball that is from the Madrid player. Former Ballon d'Or winner. Now Perisic plays a ball inside looking for Vlasic in the box, but it's just overhit. Both players appreciating each other's play in that attempted pass. Perisic possibly just overhit it, and Vlasic probably made the run a little bit too late. And it'll be Spain again with another goal kick. Played short this time to Laporte on the left-hand side of the 18-yard box. Being pressed by Petkovic, who plays it forward. Here to Mikel Merino, it's Real Sociedad midfielder, former of Newcastle. He plays it back to Unai Simon in the Spain goal. Pressed by Petkovic, so it goes long. Looking for Joselu. He does win the header, but can't find Gavi. Headed back by Juranovic towards his own goalkeeper, and it will the roll to the Croatian number 1. The 28-year-old goalkeeper, Dominik Livakovic, currently plays for Zagreb, but mentioned before that he is being looked at by Fenerbahce in Turkey. Here's Erlich. Chase to play back to Livakovic. It's a bit of a short pass. Hosselu doesn't get there ahead of the goalkeeper. He's able to scuff a clearance. Kept in though by Jordi Alba on the left-hand side for Spain. It's now Marino inside to Rodri, 40 yards away from goal. So he works it wide left to Jordi Alba, who's got the angle for the cross. Fakes the first one. Then plays it in the box to Mikel Merino. Across it goes. Ansu Fati popped off the line. Out for a corner for Spain. That's the big chance. Their first shot on target in the 84th minute nearly resulted in their first goal of the game. What a chance that is. Hands on the head of the Spanish supporters, as they do have a corner to follow up the momentum they've built here. Fati with a big chance in the box, but it was blocked off the line. In it goes. Outswinger from Asensio. Header won by Laporte. It loops up and caught by Livakovic. Both goals, either end, are filled with Croatia supporters. They've absolutely flooded this stadium. And there's the shot from 8 yards out. It was definitely beaten. That definitely beat Livakovic in the Croatia goal. But on the line was Ivan Perisic. Defensive instincts on point there. Gavi. Marino. Halfway line to Rodri. He's got Navas on the right. Just plays it short instead to Nacho Fernandez on halfway line. Back into Rodri. Fernandez to Laporte. It's getting spicy now at the end of this Nations League final. Laporte lays it off to Jordi Alba. Ball inside to Fati. Brings it down nicely. Pulled by Brozovic, but play continues. Gets away from Modric. Drifts out towards the left-hand side again. Finds Gavi. Tries the 1-2. Can't get on the end of the second pass. And Brozovic can clear all as far as Laporte. And Spain are looking the likely side to score here. Dani Olmo still waiting to come on there. In the near side. Ball forward by Fernandez. Deflects off Gavi and it finds Marino. Rodri out to Halber on the halfway line on the left-hand side. Finds Fati. Mikel Merino's made a run inside. Doesn't use it yet. He's one-on-one with Juranovic. Tries to play a pass, but he's blocked by Kramaric on the edge of the box there. And Croatia can come away with it. I think Juranovic has fouled there on the edge of the box. I think he's pulled by Fati once he'd lost the ball. And it's going to be time for a Spanish change. Olmo now ready to come on, but that's a big chance from Ansu Fati there. Through the legs of, I think it was Sotalo. He had beaten Livakovic, but thankfully for Croatia, Perisic was on the line to clear. Dani Olmo replaces Gavi. Worked his socks off the Barcelona midfielder, still at the age of 18, set to turn 19 in August. So Dani Olmo comes on. Didn't feature in the semi-final, Dani Olmo off the bench, but he'll feature in the final, the RB Leipzig midfielder. Did score on his debut for Spain back in November 2019 against Malta in a 7-0 win. And also picked up 2 assists the last time Spain and Croatia faced each other in that Euros round of 16 game in the 5-3 Spain win after extra time, which we're currently aiming towards here with 3 minutes to go, plus added on time. Jesus Navas, the right back. All Croatia plays behind the ball as Laporte has it for Spain, just inside his own half. He'll drive forward as he's not being pressed currently. He'll then be met by Brozovic, but he plays it forward quickly to Marino. Alba looks at Fati inside, but it's cut out by Modric. And he plays a long ball up towards Petkovic. He brings it down, tries to lay it off in towards Brozovic, but it's cut out by Rodri. And Spain are back in possession. Looks like if there's going to be a side to nick it, it might be Spain. But then again, Croatia could do it on the counter-attack if Spain aren't careful. If they overcommit too many bodies. And here's Marino. Out to Jordi Alba. Can't quite challenge the Croatia back line yet. They might do now with a ball in towards Dani Olmo. Works away from Kovacic. Tries to get it beyond Juranovic, but his touch is too heavy and it can be swept up by Martin Erlich on the edge of the 18-yard box for Croatia. Clips it up towards Petkovic. Loses out to Laporte. Fairly challenged, says the referee. It's now to Asensio, heavy touch, it gets away from him, allows the tackle from Perisic, and he wins the ball back for his side. And it's now with Croatia in their 18-yard box with centre-back Martin Ehrlich. Lays it off to his keeper who clears first time. But only as far as right back Navas, who will take the throw in for Spain on the halfway line. 90 seconds to go. Spain won it in the 88th minute. In the semi-final, they're going to look to win it late in the final against Croatia. Laporte. Ball in behind, looking for Jordi Alba, and he'll get there towards the corner flag. Met with Juranovic. He keeps away from the Croatian right back and plays it back to Marino. Inside it goes to Rodri. To the right to Asensio. Touch loops into the sky, but he's able to keep it down. And then find Navas. Back to Asensio. Room for a cross. It's a low one. It's blocked by Kovacic. It'll fall to Petkovic. Lays it off to Modric. Forward. To the right to Petkovic. Tries to send it through to the left, but it's a misplaced ball. Brozovic wanted it to his feet. He tried to play it in behind. And it ran right through to the goalkeeper of Spain. It was well overhit from Bruno Petkovic. And Spain can possibly come again. Like I say, in the semi-final against the Netherlands, Croatia did concede in the 96th minute through Lang. The game's been slowed down here as all Croatia players are behind the ball with Laporte on the ball on the halfway line. Goes to his right here to Fernandez. Then out to Navas. It's good pressing from Croatia late on. Not leaving any gaps as of yet. As Rodri plays it around the corner to Olmo, who works it to the right to Navas. Dinks a ball in behind for Asensio in the box on the right. Chance for a shot, and he drags it. He really does drag that wide. Doesn't test Livakovic in the Croatia goal. And as we hit the 90th minute, it's still 0-0 between these two sides. Great ball around the corner and in behind by Navas. Josip Sitalo, the Croatian centre-back, was caught out of position. But the Asensio strike was well wide. And we've got 4 minutes of added on time. As we're going to get another Croatia change. It's going to be the number 7, Lovro Maya, to come on. The 25-year-old plays his football currently at Stade Rennes, the French side. Replaced Kovacic in the semi-final. He replaces Kramaric in the final. He'll probably play it out wide on the right-hand side. As the ball forward by Livakovic. The header's won by Laporte, who stays on the ground. And the play's going to be stopped by the referee as Laporte was caught in the face there, I think, by Petkovic. Let's have a look. Laporte went up for it. Just slightly caught by the arm of Petkovic. Not really much in it, really. I'm sure he'll be back to his feet pretty soon. The Manchester City centre-half. Minute and a half played of the 4 added on. Still waiting for the game to restart, which we'll do under Laporte. As he sends a diagonal ball towards Hosselu, heads it behind him. Looking for Navas, the right back, who got forward, but it falls only as far as Vlasic for Croatia. Clears up towards Petkovic, but it's won back by Nacho Fernandez on halfway. Spain still knocking at the door for the winner. If anyone is going to win it, it's more likely going to be the Spanish set of players on the pitch. Olmo, ball through, looking for Mikel Merino on the edge of the 18-yard box, but it's overhit and can be seen behind for a goal kick for Croatia. We've got 2 minutes left of the added on time. Still 0-0. We are aiming towards an extra 30 minutes as it stands. Goal kick for Croatia. Livakovic to take. Towards the Croatia left. Header won by Petkovic. Brought down by Vlasic despite pressure from Rodri. And Rodri does win it off them in the end. Bit of a miscommunication between him and Kovacic there. And Spain send it down their right with Hosselu, who holds it up in the right wing position and tries to bring Mikel Merino into play, but it's intercepted by Modric. It's now out to Maya. He's got nothing on in terms of in front of him, so he has to go back instead to Martin Ehrlich. Juranovic has got forward the right back and Maya can't find him. He'll instead dink a ball forward towards Petkovic, who nods it down for Vlasic on the Croatia left. He brings Perisic into play. A minute to go. Perisic on the left. He's got forward here. Crosses it towards Maya. Lays it off on the edge to Brozovic. Gets away from Ansu Fati. In the box on the right. He's got the run of Juranovic to his right. He feeds it towards the right back. He's tackled by Fati. Last touch. Off Juranovic. It's a goal kick. Juranovic is furious. Oh no, I think the linesman has been overruled. Yeah, definitely came off Ansu Fati last. Corner kick. The linesman give a goal kick at first, which confuses me. But the referee gives the corner, and I think that's the right decision. And this will probably be the last attack of the 90 minutes. Honestly, this stadium is just full of Croatians. I'm not joking. If they can win their first major tournament in front of so many fans, it would be unbelievable. It's going to be a Modric outswinger who's been playing international football since 2006. He crosses near post. It's a real poor one. Can be headed away in the end by Hosselu. He'll drop out for a throw-in. We've played 4 minutes of added on time. Referee still satisfied that we continue play for now. Modric is going to leave the throw-in for Juranovic, but there's no time to take it. After 90 minutes, we are yet to have a breakthrough, and we're going to extra time. Croatia 0, Spain 0 in the Nations League 2023 final. 2 shots on target from Spain in the end, 15 overall, and their first shot on target came ever so close. And the first shot they had on target was in the 84th minute. It came from Ansu Fati, about 8 yards out in the box. Worked his chance for a shot, beat the goalkeeper, but on the line was Ivan Perisic to block, and that was a real chance to win it. Perisic, the hero for Croatia, was able to keep it at 0-0. And within the half, we've had chances for both sides, but come the end of the 90 minutes, it's Croatia 0, Spain 0, and we're going to have an extra half an hour to play in the Nations League final. Extra time. I've done so many extra times recently. It is actually becoming a little bit of a joke, if I'm going to be honest. It's actually how many extra times have I done recently? I'm going to have a look. So Spain, Italy didn't go extra time. Sevilla, Roma did. Coventry, Luton did. Chesterfield, Notts County did. So 3 of my last 5 commentaries have been extra time. Crazy, it's never ending, these games. 0-0, both sides creating chances, not massive chances. The biggest one was definitely Ansu Fati, where he got that cleared off the line by Ivan Perisic. Croatia came half close as well a couple of times within the half. And we'll get the first 15 minutes of the extra time in a couple minutes' time. And it looks like, apparently, again, just reading some stuff, Manchester United are preparing a £45 million bid for Jordan Pickford, England's number 1. Interesting move there from Erik ten Hag, possibly looking like David De Gea's replacement. Will we get penalties? We've got extra time. Both of Croatia's games going to extra time. And in a lot of their recent tournaments as well, Croatia have gone to extra time, if I remember rightly. And the 2018 World Cup, I know their quarter-final definitely went to extra time against Russia, which they won on penalties. Then their semi-final against England went to extra time. And in Qatar, in that World Cup, their round of 16 against Japan went to penalties. Their quarter-final against Brazil went to penalties as well. So a lot of extra times and penalties in recent tournaments for Croatia, and it's no different this time. Extra time again. It was heartbreaking in the semi-finals against the Netherlands when they were pegged back in the 96th minute to a Lang goal, but they were able to win it in extra time in their semi-final against the Netherlands. Petkovic in the 98th minute and Modric in the 116th. So they didn't need penalties in the semi-finals, but they possibly might do so in the final. As we are back for extra time in the UEFA Nations League final 2023. Portugal won it in 2019, France in 2021. Who will win it between Croatia and Spain in 2023? As it will be Spain kicking left to right, Croatia right to left. Croatia will also kick us off for the first 15 minutes of the final of extra time. It's out to Perisic on the left. Back he goes to the left to Sitalo. Forward to Kovacic. No real press from Spain early on. And we are back underway in the Stadion Feyenoord, or the De Kuip Stadium, as it's also known as. Clip ball out to Juranovic for Croatia on the right-hand side. Plays it inside to Maya, the substitute. On the right-hand side for Croatia. Finds a ball inside to Modric. Then out wide to the furthest on the right. And that is Juranovic, who swings across in towards Vlasic. He'll go all the way through to Perisic. Lays it off to Kovacic on the edge. The ball across is too heavy. Picked up by Marino. And Spain dispossess and win a free kick. Joselu coming deep for the ball and being fouled. Yeah, just fouled there by Erlich. I think he's just speaking to there for Erlich as well. Don't think he was yellow carded there. As Spain are now back in possession after Croatia early pressure in the first half of extra time. Nacho Fernandez. Navas swings a left-footed ball forward towards Joselu, who does win it with a right-footed ball forward, but it can't find Asensio, and it runs back into the possession of Croatia. With Livakovic, the goalkeeper, sends it long forward up towards Petkovic, wins the header against Rodri, and it's to the right now to Maya. The number 7 for Croatia, back to Modric. He himself has to go back as well to Erlich. In the right back position now, 10 yards away from the Spain half. Here is Luka Modric, pressed by Ansu Fati, so has to go back to Erlich again. Kovacic drops deep for the ball, and then relays it back into Erlich. Modric really in a right back position here now, the Real Madrid midfielder. Has to play left-footed ball across to Sutalo in the 18-yard box, and he's able to just nod it down to his goalkeeper Livakovic. As Croatia decide to keep possession early on in the extra time period. Here's Kovacic through in between the lines for Brozovic. Gets Rodri out of the game and feeds it out to the left to Perisic. This could be it for Croatia. One-on-one with Navas. Will he go on his right foot? He'll go on his left. Floats it in there towards Petkovic. Header won by Laporte. Only finds Brozovic on the edge. A shot blocked by Laporte. Loops up in the air for Croatia, and it's kept alive by Juranovic. Kovacic, pass intercepted. And it falls in the end for Marino. He plays it forward to Joselu for Spain. Out to Navas at right back. Who will take a touch and then look for Joselu again up front, but it's misplaced and it can be won back by Croatia. 3 minutes into extra time. It's now with Josip Sutalo. Ball forward now to Vlasic. Brought on in the second half. There's a substitute. Brozovic out to Perisic. All on the left-hand side now for Croatia. As they go back and then across through Sutalo to Erlich. Back to Sutalo again. He's been pressed by Joselu. But he works it to his centre-back partner Erlich in his own half. Out to Juranovic. Back to Erlich again. It's a heavy pass. He just about stops it going out for a corner. Now in the corner flag. He clears up the field. Looking for Petkovic. He does win the flick on ahead of Laporte, but he drops only as far as Nacho Fernandez. No player in a blue shirt for Croatia near the end of it. It's now Spain in possession with Rodri on halfway. In the centre circle. Works out to the right to Navas. He's going to look to burst forward for Spain. Tackled and brought down by Vlasic. And that'll be a free kick for Spain. Navas not happy that the linesman didn't give it. It was the referee who gave it. The linesman was happy for play to go on, but the referee believes Vlasic was a bit too strong there on the challenge on Navas. As Asensio takes it short and quick to Nacho Fernandez, who then switches out to Fati on the left. Marino, Fati, back to Marino again. Good play here on the edge of the box here on the left-hand side for Spain. Out to Alba. Swings a ball into the edge of the box to Fati, who lays it off to Rodri. Back out to the right now to Navas. Swings across in. He goes all the way through. Off the head of Petkovic. That should be a corner. And it will be. Ball in from Navas. Definitely came off the head of Petkovic last, the striker, doing his defensive duties. And that'll be a corner for Spain. Can they take advantage of the set piece? First ever extra time as well in a Nations League final. As Fati goes short to Alba. Feeds it back to Fati. One-on-one with Kovacic. Tries to go through the legs of Kovacic, but he bounces back to the Spaniard, who then lays it off into Jordi Alba. Now to Navas. Out wide right, it goes to Dani Olmo as they try the other side now, Spain. Asensio. All Croatia plays behind the ball as Juranovic presses Navas, but he lifts it over him to Asensio. Now Dani Olmo takes it in his stride beautifully on the right-hand side. As far as Rodri, who then fires the ball across to Jordi Alba, one of the furthest back for Spain. Plays it forward to Fati in the final third. Again, one-on-one with Kovacic. Can't get around the Chelsea man, looking like he's set on a move to Manchester City. And it's now Spain trying the right-hand side this time, and they've worked it to Navas. Ball through in the box to Dani Olmo, back heel to the edge of the box, looking for a red shirt, but it only falls to Luka Modric, who plays it forward to Petkovic, shoved in the back by Nacho Fernandez. And that'll be a booking for the Real Madrid man and the substitute. Replaced Robin Linomand late on in the second half, Nacho Fernandez, and he's picked up a booking. Both sets of teams have got a target man up. He had caught the back of the leg there, Petkovic with the studs. That'll be a nasty one, that. But Spain have got Joselu and Croatia have got Petkovic. You know, Joselu at the height of 6'4", same as Petkovic, 6'4", so it looks like they're just aiming for their target man and looking to play off him, which is drawing fouls from both sets of centre-halves. As Navas is being replaced at right-back for Dani Carvajal of Real Madrid. Did get an assist against Croatia once in a Nations League game back in 2018 where they were able to defeat Croatia 6-0. Back in September 2018, Saul, Asensio, Kalinic own goal, Rodrigo, Sergio Ramos and Isco scored for Spain. As Rodri picks up a booking here, I think he fouls Maya. But that day for Croatia in that 6-0 defeat in 2018, Perisic played, Brozovic, Kovacic, Modric, Rakitic all played. Yeah, Rodri just having a hold of Lovro Maya. And he picks up a booking. The Manchester City treble winner, Champions League winner as well, winning goal. Switch out to Perisic to the left. Ball headed inside, falls to Asensio, beats away the pressure of Vlasic. Ball forward by Rodri, does fall in the end to Dani Olmo. Skips beyond Brozovic, then works a ball out to the left to Jordi Alba. Well worked from the RB Leipzig midfielder. He gets the return from Jordi Alba as he finds himself on the left and he plays a ball through into Fati. Tries to beat Juranovic on the Spain left, but can't get around the Croatian, and the heavy touch has gone out for a goal kick for Croatia. Well defended by Juranovic there on Fati. He can be a very difficult player to deal with. Ansu Fati, he only picked up 12 starts in La Liga this season in 36 appearances. Did get 7 goals for Barcelona in the season in the league, 10 in all competitions. As Livakovic will take the goal kick for Croatia. It's going to be a high one and a long one up towards Petkovic, who's having to deal with Rodri. Wins the flick on towards Vlasic. Battling with Dani Carvajal, and it's Vlasic to win it. Back towards Petkovic, who loses out to Rodri with the headers. And Dani Carvajal switches out to Ansu Fati on halfway, and Spain can look to get forward. Again, the battle continues with Juranovic and Fati. Fati plays it out to the overlap of Jordi Alba, who has to go back in the end to Mikel Merino. Rodri gets away from the pressure of Brozovic and finds Jordi Alba halfway inside the Croatia half. The Spain look to attack. Laporte. Jordi Alba. Laporte again. Forward to Marino. Lays it off back to Laporte. All Croatia plays behind the ball. They're sitting very deep towards the edge of the box. They push out as Spain are ended up back to the halfway line. Nacho Fernandez to club teammate Carvajal. Finds the ball to Rodri. Forward to Dani Olmo. Furthest right for Spain. Loses his footing and loses the ball with a heavy touch. And it's now Kovacic to bring it away after being found by Brozovic. Kovacic still driving forward, pokes it through to Maya. He's in behind, away from Jordi Alba, but not away from Nacho Fernandez. What a tackle as he got the ball. Maya still wants it. He's tackled in the end. And it can be brought away by Mikel Merino. Ansu Fati was getting away there on the Spain left. But play's been stopped as Nacho Fernandez stays down, and so does Lovro Maya. He's got heavy bandaging on his left wrist there. Lovro Maya. You had the chance there to win it. Kovacic made a great bursting run through the middle, and a ball was played through to Maya. And he'd got in behind Jordi Alba, his marker, and his touch across goal was just too heavy, and it allowed Nacho Fernandez to make a hell of a slide challenge to stop the shot in the 18-yard box. And then it was eventually dealt with on the seconds by Jordi Alba, and Spain could clear. But from that big slide tackle from Nacho Fernandez, he's injured himself, and it was needed to be a big one. Down that end, in the first half of the 45 minutes, Laporte did something similar on Kramaric, made a big slide tackle. He didn't injure himself, though. But it does look like Nacho Fernandez may have picked up a knock here. And if he can't continue, they don't have an out-and-out centre-back on the bench. So it might have to be that Rodri, who played all of his minutes in the World Cup in Qatar at centre-back, might have to drop into centre-back, and then they can bring on the likes of another holding midfielder, maybe Martin Zubimendi, the Real Sociedad man, possibly, who's only got the one appearance for Spain, and that was in a international in June 2021, where the majority was before the Euros, and it was pretty much a full under-21s team, but it was a first-team game for Spain. But his first actual call-up to a senior squad was in March, and he's yet to play minutes in 2023. Lovro Maya and Nacho Fernandez are just on the side of the field. Looks like Nacho Fernandez will be okay, though, to continue. And so will Lovro Maya. Lovro Maya. So Spain have the ball on the left, and that's where it'll be dropped by German referee Felix Weyer. Dropped by the referee. Both players are back on the field as Spain have it in their own half, with Rodri sat in between the two centre-backs. He receives the ball and he plays it to Nacho Fernandez. Who goes to Dani Carvajal, who's just at right centre-back for the minute. Plays it back to his goalkeeper, Unai Simon, who sends the ball to the left, and he perfectly finds the feet of Jordi Alba. Ball inside, looks for Joselu. Met fairly, says the referee. And Croatia have possession. Joselu is back to his feet as Kovacic feeds the right back Juranovic just inside his own half. It's now with Erlich across to Sutalo. Kovacic plays a ball forward, laid out to Perisic by Vlasic. It's now Kovacic again, creating triangles there. Croatia looking to create space, get in behind, and they work it out to Perisic again on the left. It'll be pressed by Asensio, but he's able to get the cross in. It's header won by Dani Carvajal. Well, as far as Kovacic, he helps it back forward for Croatia. Brought down not very well by Marino, but he's helped out by Carvajal, who nods it, who clips it forward. Well, as far as the Croatia defender, and it's now back in Croatia possession as we're coming towards the end of the first half of extra time. Still 0-0. Croatia have probably been the better side on the ball. Petkovic isn't allowed to turn there away from Nacho Fernandez, but the referee sees nothing wrong with it. And it's now Dani Olmo to bring it away for Spain. Can't quite get the ball out of his feet. Can't feed the run of Ansu Fati, and it's won back by Croatia. Maya out to the left now to Vlasic. On loan to Torino this season from West Ham. Plays a ball inside to Brozovic, 25 yards away from goal. He switches it wide right, looking for the runner Juranovic, but it's overhit. Thrown for Spain. What a waste for Croatia. Bit of tiredness possibly there from Marcelo Brozovic, the Inter Milan Holland midfielder, 30 years of age now. And here's Laporte for Spain, bringing it out from the back. Plays the ball forward to Rodri. Ball high, and he can't find Asensio. Finds Perisic, who gets it to Vlasic, who loses out to Dani Carvajal. Ball rolls in the end to Asensio, who strides forward, edge of the box, strikes it, blocked by Early, shot by Olmo. And he wildly hits it over the crossbar, just inside the 18-yard box. A weak Asensio shot was poorly blocked from Ehrlich. He probably shouldn't have played it into that area with his block. He's probably able to get it further away, but he couldn't. And he left Dani Olmo with a free shot. And I don't know how he got it so far over. Just couldn't quite get his body over the ball. Blazed it over the bar. And it remains 0-0. And we have got 40 seconds left of the first 15 minutes of extra time. And it's still 0-0. Spain, 16 shots now, I think. 2 on target. Croatia had 8 shots, 3 on target. Ball forward by Livakovic. Aimed towards Perisic. Comes off the head of Dani Carvajal last. Throwing for Croatia inside their own half. Just in front of the Spain technical area where Luis de la Fuente has not moved really. Well, he has moved across the touchline, but he's never really been sat down. The head coach for Spain. Throwing down the line for Perisic towards Petkovic. Off the striker last. Dani Carvajal with the throw in for Spain. In the defensive third here. For the 2012 Euro champions. 2010 World Cup winners as well. It's Dani Carvajal, who was injured for both Euro 2016 and 2021. It should be a Spain ball. No, it's not. Hosselu couldn't hold it up. From the throw-in. Croatia throwing again outside that technical area for Spain. Perisic with the ball in his hands. Throws it towards Petkovic again, who's able to flick it behind him. Chested down by Brozovic. On the left, it's all a bit tight, but he's able to work room. Play a ball inside to Vlasic. Spins away from Olmo, but loses out to Dani Carvajal. And he's the one who can clear for Spain. Only finds Perisic, he helps it forward with his head towards Kovacic. Touch inside, comes off Rodri. Will fall back through to Unai Simon, and it can be collected by the Spain goalkeeper, who quickly throws it out to the left back, Jordi Alba. We've had 2 minutes of added on time allocated. We've played a minute of it already. Ball into Marino. Outside of the boot, curling ball out to Dani Carvajal, who enters the Croatia half. It's now with Asensio, lays it off into Rodri. Now finds Laporte. Diagonal switch into the box, looking for Asensio. Header won by Perisic, all as far as the edge of the box to Olmo. Heads it forward to Hosselu. Mikel Merino brought down in the box, but the referee said the ball was won. So play continues. 30 seconds to go of added on time. Laporte brings it forward from the back for Spain. He goes across to Nacho Fernandez. He made a vital tackle on Maya early on in the first half of extra time to stop a potential big chance for Croatia. Asensio can't feed it through to Olmo. His pass is deflected up to Petkovic. It's only him forward for Croatia. He's got Brozovic in support. He's running down the left channel for Croatia, but he's going to overrun it. He keeps it in with a great ball inside. What a pass. Vlasic on the edge, shoots, deflects in the box to Brozovic, off of Laporte. He's got an overlapping run of Kovacic. Doesn't use it. He spins, shoots towards the far post. It's saved by Unai Simon. And that will probably be that for the first half of extra time. We still search for the opening goal of the game. We might not even get one. We might have to wait for penalties to see the net be hit. Oh, lucky there. Modric just got there ahead of Mikel Merino, who went down asking for that penalty a minute ago. But I think Modric just clipped in front. And that is the first half of extra time over and done with. We're still waiting for a first goal. The first big chance of the half-time break came through Lovro Mayer, who broke in behind Jordi Alba into the box. He took a few touches into the box. And then Nacho Fernandez came across and made a massive slide challenge on Mayer early on in the first half of extra time. And Kovacic, who's looking tired. Spain and Croatia still can't break each other down. I think Kovacic... I keep saying Kovacic, my head's gone. I think Croatia were probably just about the better side in that first half of extra time. I think Spain were just refueling again, just letting Croatia have the ball. and maybe setting themselves up for going for it a bit more in the second half, the Spaniards. As the second half will be coming up. Last few words from the two coaches for their sides as they look to try and win the third ever Nations League title. Still 0-0 between these two sides. Back-to-back finals for Spain. They've been here before in the last Nations League final, but it came to a defeat in the 90 minutes to France. 2-1 in the end. And 8 of the 11 who started that game against Croatia, by the way, in the Euros in the round of 16, just under 2 years ago now, are not even in the squad this time round. Azpilicueta, Eric Garcia, Jose Gaya, Koke, Busquets, Pedri, Ferran Torres and Pablo Sarabia started that game against Croatia, but not even in the squad for Luis de la Fuente this time round. Both sides are back on the field. Spain kicking right to left, Croatia left to right. Spain will have kick-off. Like I say, it's not even like they're attacking their own fans down that end, Spain, because both sides of the goal, both ends, are just surrounded by Croatia fans. It's an unbelievable sight. As we are back underway, ball played back to Rodri, goes to his right to Dani Carvajal on halfway. Back inside to Rodri, into Carvajal. We're with the Spain centre-backs, and we're back underway for the Nations League final. Last 15 minutes of the game, possibility of penalties, as these two sides still cannot break each other down. It's been an intriguing game, but just a game with a lack of goals. As Olmo works it out to Dani Carvajal in the Croatia half. Goes for a switch in towards the box. Looking for Fati. It's a good header by Juranovic. But as far as Jordi Alba, who feeds Ansu Fati, who's charging the box, takes on Juranovic, gets away from Maya on the byline, clips across in, straight into the hands of Livakovic. And still we wait for the goal. Good positive play though from Ansu Fati to get away from both Juranovic very easily and outstrengthen Maya. Nice little chop out wide. But the cross is poor, straight into the hands of the Dinamo Zagreb goalkeeper. Long ball forward for Croatia up towards Petkovic. Helps it on towards Vlasic. Back towards Petkovic. Header won by Nacho Fernandez. Only as far as Perisic, who tries a 1-2 with Vlasic, but is won back by Spain. It's now with Mikel Merino. Loads of room for Spain on the left. And it gets fed to Jordi Alba. Then once more forward to Ansu Fati. Deep inside the Croatia half. He's 1-on-1 with Juranovic. He's only just beat him a minute ago. Can he fancy taking him on again? Instead just goes back to Jordi Alba. Feeds it through. Ball through towards Asensio. Heavy touch. Goal kick. Really inventive thinking there from Jordi Alba to slip a ball through towards Asensio at the near post. But the ball put in towards him just bounced ahead of him and he tried to control it with his left boot there, Asensio, but just a bit too heavy and was put under pressure by Vlasic. And in the end, it was a goal kick for Croatia. Long ball forward again for Croatia, aiming towards Petkovic. Attempts to bring it down, but it only puts it into the path of Carvajal, who then plays it forward into Olmo. Across it goes to Asensio, centre of the field. Then gets it out wide left to Fati, just on the edge of the box now. Right-footed cross, in it goes. Aims towards Dani Olmo. Definitely took a deflection with the strike. And it'll be a corner for Spain again. Brought down by Merino from the cross. Almost struck about 12 yards out. And it took a deflection and wide it went. Short it goes for Spain from Ansu Fati. Into Dani Carvajal. Crosses towards Merino. Header won by a Croatian head. Always fires Olmo on the edge. Rodri to Asensio, who strikes. And it's deflected again. Another corner for Spain. Much better. Like I said, they let Croatia have a lot of possession in the first half of extra time. And then it's flipped in the second half. They've refueled. They've got more energy now, Spain. And they're going at the Croatians. Short again from Fati. To Alba this time. Crosses in. Header won by a Croatian. Still in the box though. It's still alive. Rodri with the shots. Blocked by Croatia. And it falls to Modric on the edge. He will drive forward. But he's caught in traffic. Hosselu wins it. The striker in a left wing position now for Spain. He plays it back to Alba. Inside it goes to Nacho Fernandez. Keeps it away from Brozovic. Marino tries to find Rodri. Tackled by Petkovic. Won back though by Carvajal. Always far. As to Tarlo, who finds the left back Perisic. Works himself away from Asensio. Feeds it through to Petkovic. Holds up. And releases Juranovic. Enters the Spain half. But has to go back to Lovro Maia. His play just slows down slightly. As we've got 11 minutes left. Kovacic as Croatia found the ball on the left. Forward to Vlasic. Kovacic. Scoops the ball back towards Perisic on halfway. As after some quick and intense Spain pressure, it's now Croatia to have a bit of the ball. Vlasic. Bit of space here. Ball through to Petkovic. On the edge. Lays it off. Shot. Saved. I think Petkovic was offside though as he received the ball. The flag did go up on him. Petkovic again just not staying on side as he laid it off for Vlasic, who was the one to have the shot away. It's now with Laporte out from the back on the edge of the 18-yard box. 110 minutes now played. Still 0-0. Laporte out to left back. Jordi Alba. Looks like Croatia are going to make a change as well. When the ball next goes out, it's going to be right back Josip Stanisic of Bayern Munich. 23 appearances for Bayern Munich this season, 4 under Tuchel. Probably a like-for-like change. 2 Josips at right back for Croatia. Josip Juranovic will probably be replaced by Josip Stanisic. Spain have gradually just made their way forward. It's now with Dani Olmo halfway inside the Croatia half. All Croatian players behind the ball. And a misplaced ball goes out for a goal kick. Really misplaced there. I'm not sure who shot that one away, but Spain couldn't keep possession. I think it was Aymeric Laporte. And here comes the change with 9 minutes to go. Is going to be like for like. He's worked really hard down that right channel. Josip Juranovic, Union Berlin fullback, signed in January from Celtic. So one Josip for another. He'll be replaced by number 2, Josip Stanisic, who was actually born in Munich, but born to Croatian parents. Did actually feature for Germany. He's under 19s twice, Stanisic, before deciding to pledge his allegiance to Croatia. So, Livakovic with the goal kick for Croatia. Towards Petkovic again, who wins his header. He's doing his job, but it doesn't fall to a blue shirt. Nacho Fernandez instead. And Spain can build, go into their left. Alba dinks ball inside to Dani Olmo. Tries to flick on ahead of Marino, but it's too heavy. But the clearance away there from Erlich is really poor. Straight back into Spain possession with 8 minutes to go. Ansu Fati. Back to Jordi Alba. Across to Rodri towards halfway. He's been pressed by Brozovic and he wins it fairly there. Played forward by Modric. Into Petkovic. Croatia flood forward on the left. Kovacic gets it out to Perisic. He's 1-on-1 with Carvajal. In that final third, he's got 3 men in the box to aim at. Shifts onto his right foot. Crosses. Header won by Laporte. Oh, as far as Maia on the right-hand side for Croatia. Back to Modric. Outside of the boot ball, looking for the substitute. Just come on, Stanisic. Back out to Modric. Spain have got players back, but Croatia plays forward. Playing to Brozovic. Tries to let off to Maia. Cut out. Spain look to get ahead. With Marino. Swarmed by Croatia players. And his ball forward is blocked by Erlich. And he's kept in by Brozovic in the Spain half. And Croatia could come again. Brozovic on the right. Plays it forward to Modric. 1-2. Brozovic can't get on the end of it though. Well dealt with by Jordi Alba as he clears across the pitch. And a throw for Croatia it'll be. As I'm presuming all the noise in the ground will be from the Croatians. They've flooded the ground. All around you can just see the red and white pattern of Croatia. As Lovro Mayer has it, he's drifted from the right hand side to the left here to link up with Kovacic. It's now back with Modric. Kovacic again driving forward, can't get away from Rodri. Ball drops to Joselu, who can hold up for Spain. Finds right back Carvajal. Impressed here by Vlasic. He works a switch across the Laporte on the edge of the 18-yard box, then a ball forward to Alba. And Spain look to create a chance of their own into the Croatia half. Lays it off into Fati. Forward to Marino. Alba. Down the line. Finds Ansu Fati. Met by Lovro Mayer. Across it goes to the edge of the box to Olmo. Tries to feed again to Fati, but it's blocked by Kovacic and brought away by Croatia up towards Petkovic. Gets there ahead of Laporte and he feeds it through to the right-hand side here to Brozovic, who has to hold up. There's no one up there with him in the Spain half in a blue shirt. It's now Stanisic. Away from Fati, but tackled by Marino. And it comes off Stanisic last, thrown for Spain as they win the possession back. Nacho Fernandez at the back for Spain. To Laporte, they look to explore the options down their left-hand side here, Spain. Jordi Alba forward to Marino. Short ball to Fati, but then it's won back by Marino. Gets it away from Mayer and Stanisic. It's now Fati who's been fed. Toward the corner flag. He keeps it away from Stanisic, then lays it off to Alba. Pulls it across the edge to Rodri. We know he can hit it. It deflects off ahead of a Croatian. And that Croatian was Sotalo. And it was over the bar in a corner. Rodri saw his name in the lights again, thinking it was going towards the corner. He aimed for the far right corner and it deflects it towards the top left. And it'll be a corner in the end for Spain with less than 5 minutes to go. Ansu Fati's there to take a ball on the pitch there, so Carvajal will just have to run and kick it off, and then we can get away with a Fati corner. In the box this time, all the way through. How has no one got on the end of that? Right through for Croatia. Throw-in on the opposite side. Fati's put a teasing ball in that 6-yard area kind of position, and it's gone right through. No one got on the end of it. And with 4 minutes to go, plus any added on time we might get, it's still 0-0. Looks like we're aiming towards penalties. Throwing long by Perisic, helped on again by Petkovic, but not towards a blue shirt for Croatia. And it's Spain to get forward again. Laporte, ball forward through to Olmo. Dinks a ball towards Joselu in the box, headed away by Erlich to the edge of the box where it needs to be dealt with by Modric. Not convincing, but it's Mayer to help away. Again, not convincing. As far as Olmo. Asensio. Exploring the right-hand side now, Spain, with Carvajal. Inside the box to Asensio. Not much room to work with, but he spins away and works across. Deflects off Perisic. Corner again for Spain. They've really given it their all in this second half of extra time, the Spaniards. Can Croatia hold out? Taken short. It's to Carvajal. Fernandez out to Carvajal again on the right-hand side. Across to Alba. Floats a ball in. Headed away by Perisic. Fall back towards Alba. And he'll head it forward to Marino, who goes back to Carvajal to keep the ball alive for Spain. Less than 3 minutes to go. Croatia are able to push out due to forcing Spain back to their own goalkeeper. And it's now with Captain Alba. Don't think Croatia have got any intentions of winning this game. I think they're going to go for penalties as Stanisic heads away a diagonal ball forward by Spain. Mayer runs into traffic on Jordi Alba. And it's a free kick. Jordi Alba fouls Mayer. But I think Alba's the one who's been hurt there. I think he might have got a knee in the back or something like that. Yeah, just blocked off Mayer to the ball. Definitely a free kick. Had no intentions to play the ball there, Jordi Alba. But through blocking off Mayer, he's used his back to block him off, so Mayer's just run right into his back. But Alba will be okay to carry on. Modric is just going to fly this ball into the box and see if anything can be made of it. Nodded down by a Spain head. In the end, it was laid off to Kovacic, and his shot's deflected out for a corner. Now Croatia have their chance. Vlasic was the one to lay it off to Kovacic after it came off a Spanish head. And the Fernandez block means Croatia have a last chance from a corner. This would be a real heartbreaker for Spain. Can Croatia nick it late for their first major trophy? It's a ball in. Header won by Laporte, though, towards the penalty spot. Kept alive by Modric. Maya drills it in. Blocked by Fernandez and cleared. Always fast Modric again, who keeps it alive. Here's Lovro Maya. Left foot. Cross. Blocked by Hosselu. Jordi Alba can't avoid the corner. It's another corner. 40 seconds to go until we've played 120 minutes. Not sure how much added on time we're going to get, but Croatia are the team to have the last set of chances. The two centre-backs are up there for Croatia. It's going to be an in-swinging ball into the hands of Unai Simon, who's able to keep a hold of it. And it looks like this could be it, depending on how much added on time we get. Calmly rolls it out to Laporte as Croatia are back in position. We've played 120 minutes. And the referee doesn't add any added on time. 120 minutes played, 0 goals scored, plenty of chances, but in the third ever Nations League final, we've got our first penalty shootout. It was our first ever extra time, and it's gone the full way. Croatia and Spain cannot be split. It goes to penalty kicks. Decent game. I've seen better. The extra time wasn't too bad. The first half of extra time was definitely all Croatia. And then the second half was all Spain. There was a late flurry of chances there for Croatia at the end, but none of them came to any big chances where it worried Unai Simon in the Spain goal. So we'll get penalties for Croatia against Spain. So obviously the scores in brackets is what represents the penalties. Oh, there's a little bit of a bust up at the end. I'm too busy sorting my stream out. Tensions flare, which surprises me. We haven't seen much of that in the game. Both sets of players going at each other or anything like that. But tensions and anger has boiled over. Seems to have been settled down. I'll have to see any replays they can conjure up here, but we've got a little bit of a coming together between some of the Croatia and Spain staff. It all seems to have been settled down. It's been dealt with. Not quite sure, to be honest, what actually happened, but something may have been said. You know, it's tense. It is, you know, it's a trophy at the end of the day. It's a major trophy, and both sides want to win it. But one team can win, and one team has to lose. Spain didn't have a great account of themselves in their last penalty shootout against Morocco, where they missed all three they took. They lost 3-0 on penalties, and they lost all three. They missed all three. Unfortunately, Spain. Sarabia, Soler, and Busquets miss. All three of them not actually in the Spain squad. Let's just say this, I've definitely seen more boring 0-0s. It wasn't that bad. It was pretty decent. There was a lot of just more half chances than big chances. I think the only real big chance, well, to be fair, Croatia had 12 shots, 5 on target. Spain had 21, 2 on target. One of those on target was in the 84th minute. Ansu Fati should have scored, but it was cleared off the line by Perisic. Extra time didn't have great chances that I can remember, to be honest. There was just a lot of Spain pressure, but no real, big chances for them, if I remember correctly. But they're going to have to be split through penalties. Jordi Alba and Modric meet in the middle with referee Felix Weyer. Whichever end they play at, there's going to be Croatia fans behind that goal. So it's a win-win for Croatia. It's just if they can get to take first or not. The referee flips the coin. Spain's chance. They're going to go down to the left of the goal, which may have more Spain fans populated. Not sure. Flicks the coin again. It's Croatia's choice to go first or second. And I can't quite make out what decision he's made. We'll find out. But Spain chose what side to shoot at, and it was towards the left-hand side. And I'm not sure who's taking first. Modric had the choice. Has he let his team go first or second? That's the question. And we'll find out hopefully in a couple of seconds' time. Spain also beat in the Euros last time out in 2021 to Italy. So they haven't had great time with penalties in recent eras, in recent competitions. And it'll be Croatia to take first. First up with it is Nikola Vlasic. Spent his time at Torino this year on loan from West Ham. And he'll be the first to take against Unai Simon. The West Ham reject has a chance to put his national side ahead in a Nations League final, which they want to win. He's right-footed. 5-yard run up towards Unai Simon, and he places it. The goalkeeper didn't even move. Top right corner. Don't think it was right in the corner as well, so possibly if Unai Simon was able to commit to that side, he possibly would have saved it, but he opened up the body, Vlasic. And Unai Simon was rooted to the spot. He was moving a lot in his goal. To be fair, I'm taking away credit. It was quite far in the corner from Vlasic, in fairness. 1-0 to Croatia in the shootout. Next up is Joselu. He got the winner in the 88th minute against Italy in the semi-final. Can he make it all square in the shootout after one each? He's against Livakovic, who did superbly in the World Cup in shootouts. And Joselu, what a penalty. Top left corner. Wasn't going to be saved. Joselu scores his penalty. About to become a Real Madrid player. And he's just shown the Real Madrid fans he can score from the spot. Livakovic nowhere near it. Top left corner. How would you like that one? Unsavable. Next up, Marcel Brozovic. Had a recent final heartbreak of his own for Inter Milan in the Champions League final. He's got the weight of his nation on his shoulders, who are looking for his first major trophy. They've never won anything major. And they might do this time. Sends Unai Simon the wrong way. Scorched straight into the bottom left corner. And with his right boot, Brozovic puts Croatia back in front in the shootout. Really solid penalty into the side netting. Even if Unai Simon had gone the right way, it would have been difficult for him to save it. And here's Rodri. Goal winner in the Champions League final last week. Man of the match in the Champions League final. Man of the match in the semi-final of the Nations League. It's a short run up with his right foot. Looking the goalkeeper in the eyes and sending him the wrong way. Same as the last penalty we just had. Goalkeeper dives to the right. Rodri sticks it to the left. 2-2 after two penalties each. Massive, massive celebration from Rodri. Probably felt a lot of pressure with that penalty because Croatia beat Japan in the round of 16 and Brazil in the quarterfinals of the World Cup in Qatar. So they have got a lot of experience on penalties, Croatia. And it's Modric to take. 166 appearances now for his country at the age of 37. Can he put his team ahead again? And he does. Lifts it down the middle. Unai Simon dived to Modric's left. And like I said, just a nice lifted penalty down the middle. calm as you like from the 37-year-old. Into the roof of the net. Croatia again in the lead through the spot kicks, but Spain have one to take in hand. And it's going to be Mikel Merino of Real Sociedad, formerly of Newcastle for a season 5 years ago. He's a left-footed taker. It's a big run-up. He hesitates as he shoots, and he sends the keeper the wrong way. I wasn't sure of his technique there as he stuttered as he ran up to the penalty, but the keeper dived to his left and he slotted it to the right. Yeah, saw where the keeper was diving and was able to dispatch it there. Mikel Merino. Good penalty kick. 3-3 after 3 each. This is where it's dangerous now if you miss. It really is. Lovro Majer. 2 substitute appearances for him in these Nation League games in June. Replaced Kovacic in the semi-finals, and he's now got a penalty to take with the left foot. Runs up to it, and he's saved by Unai Simon. Towards the bottom right corner, it's saved by the Atletico Bilbao goalkeeper. And it's Lovro Majer, the one to miss. I did just say it's dangerous when you miss at this point. And he's missed it in a dangerous place in the shootout. Unai Simon had a foot behind the line. And he saves it with a swinging right boot. Good save from the goalkeeper, and it stays 3-3. To put his nation in the position to win. Marco Asensio, it's not the winning penalty, but he'll put them in a position to do that. And he gets it beautifully into the top right corner. Big celebrations from Asensio. He knows that they have a chance to win it now. If Unai Simon saves again, Spain are champions of the Nations League. Runs up to it, left-footed, top right corner. Livakovic, no chance. You don't save them. He dived the right way, but such a good penalty. And Croatia have to score. Ivan Perisic, who's played left back, he'll take the penalty with his right foot to save Croatia from heartbreak. He needs to score, and he slots it home beautifully. So calm. Unai Simon dived the wrong way. Perisic placed it to the right of the goal, and he gives his nation a lifeline. But Livakovic has to save. Or they need Spain to miss. And I think that's the centre-back it is. Centre-back, Aymeric Laporte to win it. French-born, but plays for Spain. 29-year-old who's got a chance to win it for his nation. And he hits the bar! He misses the penalty. The Croatians go wild behind the goal. And Spain have not won it yet. He went down the middle. Livakovic dived to his left, Laporte's right. And if he just kept it down, that was going in for sure. Livakovic was nowhere near it. But Laporte hit it too hard and smashed the crossbar. We continue. 5 taken each. 4-4. And it's now number 17 for Croatia. Bruno Petkovic came on as the target man. Put Croatia ahead in the semi-final in extra time against the Netherlands. He's now got a chance to put them ahead in the shootout. Petkovic. Saved by Simon. Back-to-back misses. And Spain have another chance to win it. They'll check if he was off his line or not. I think he may have been. And it was saved and he was on his line. Yep, foot on the line. He dives to his right. It's cliche, but it was a perfect height for him to parry it away from goal. The striker Petkovic misses. And Spain have a second bite of the cherry to win it. It's another defender, and it's Dani Carvajal for Spain to win their first major trophy since the Euros in 2012. Dani Carvajal breathes in and out. He runs towards the ball and dinks it into the back of the net. Hits Spain to win the Nations League in 2023. The wait for Croatia to win their first major trophy goes on, but it's Spain who come out victorious. 5-4 on penalties after six taken each. And it's right back Carvajal to bring the glory back to Spain. It's devastating, it's gut-wrenching for Croatia because they always come so close, but they're always ending up so far away from winning. Runners-up in 2018 World Cup. Third place in the World Cup in 2022. Runners-up in the Nations League in 2023. But for Spain, they have finally won this competition. They fell short last time out in October 2021 to France at the San Siro. After going ahead in the game, they were pegged back by Benzema and then they were beaten by Mbappe. But it's taken extra time, it's taken penalties, but they've defeated Croatia 0-0 after 120 minutes, 5-4 on penalties, Carvajal with the winning one, and it's Spain to win the third ever Nations League competition. Portugal won it in 2019, France in 2021, and another new name onto the trophy in 2023, and it's Spain the team to do it. They were able to finish top of their group, ahead of Portugal, ahead of Switzerland, ahead of the Czech Republic. They were able to beat Italy in the semi-finals in the 88th minute for a Joselu goal. And on a final which was very, very close. Very well contested between the two nations. But on penalties, it's Spain to come through. No heartbreak this time for Spain. They failed miserably in Qatar on penalties in the round of 16 against Morocco. Missed all 3 of their penalties, but this time they were able to score 5 of their 6 taken, and that was enough to win the trophy as their name is being engraved onto that trophy. Cheeky from Carvajal. Little dink down the middle. Livakovic had committed to the right, lifted over him. And it takes bottle to do that, but Carvajal had all the bottle in the world to deliver for his nation. And despite a very, very heavily populated Croatia support group in the ground, not as many supporters for Spain, but Spain are going to be the one making all the noise as they win the Nations League. It's only their coach's 4th game, Luis de la Fuente, who's always been a part of the Spain setup, managing the under-21s and the under-19s, winning European championships with those age groups. But he's won his first major trophy for the senior team, and it's only took him 4 games to do it, and it is the Nations League. Delight for Spain, agony for Croatia, who just have to wait again for another chance to win a major trophy. And you've got to think that the time is probably coming to an end. You know, Modric 37, Brozovic hitting his 30s, Perisic in his 30s as well. But let's not take the spotlight away from Spain, who win their 5th trophy. Adding to their 3 Euros that they've won and their 1 World Cup in 2010. They had previously met at 3 tournaments in Euro 2012 group stages, Euro 2016 group stages, and then in the Euros 2021 in the round of 16 where Spain won 5-3. Not quite as many goals as the 5-3 of last time, but it was 0-0 and then 5-4 to Spain on penalties. Great commentary. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks to everyone who has joined for the stream. The next stream is tomorrow. Turkey against Wales in a Euro 2024 qualifier, so make sure you're there for that 7:45 kickoff. Does look like the Croatians are in loud voice around the ground despite falling to a defeat on penalties. It'll be mass disappointment because they would have had a real chance to get their first major trophy, but it's Spain, the team, to do it. and you can't take anything away from them. You can just see how deflated the Croatia players look, especially Luka Modric, which I do think, with his mentality, probably does say a lot. 23 trophies with Luka Modric has won at Real Madrid, 5 Champions League and 3 league titles, but I think a trophy with his nation probably would have meant a slight little bit more than all those Champions Leagues and league titles, but unfortunately the 37-year-old will have to wait. He'll more than likely be at the next Euros, which is this time next year. He'll be 38, but apparently he's rejected a move to Saudi Arabia to keep playing his football at Real Madrid. So hopefully he'll be able to play in that Euros in 2024. It'll probably be his last tournament with Croatia, realistically, because the next one after that will be the World Cup in 2026, and then he'll be 40 years old. And that's probably a lot to ask for, but can we just say for Laporte and Rodri as well? Champions League winners last week, Nation League final winners this week, adding to their 3 trophies they won within the season for Manchester City. Also some breaking news, Ruben Neves, the Portuguese midfielder, has left Wolves for around £45 million, £50 million, and he's joined Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia. 26 years old. He's a fantastic midfielder, Ruben Neves, but he's took the jump and he's gone to Saudi Arabia, Al Hilal. They paid about £50 million for him, with 1 year left on his contract at Wolves. And Wolves can't believe it that Al Hilal paid that much for him, but there you go. Ruben Neves off to Saudi Arabia. They're taking over. £47 million apparently, the fee. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But that will be the end of the commentary. The trophy lifts in a few minutes, but I'm sure none of you need me to commentate over that. But I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you're here tomorrow. 7:15 kick-off. Turkey against Wales. Euro qualifier. Make sure you're here for that tomorrow. But for tonight, it's Spain to win their 5th ever major trophy. Croatia yet to win one. Hopefully their time for them will come soon. They've had a lot of heartbreak, but tonight for them wasn't their night. It's the night for Spain, who win on penalties 5-4 after a 0-0 game between Croatia in the 3rd Nations League final. We've had 3 separate winners. Portugal, France, and now Spain have got their name engraved on the trophy.